All right, everybody, welcome to the Mana Trader Series coverage. My name is Corey Baumeister. That's Brad Nelson. And we are going to be bringing you the top 8 of our July series here in Vintage. And it's going to be pretty exciting.
Yeah, we get to crown 2 people going to the December Invitational.
Yep. I wonder what happens if DM4X gets it, since they already qualified through the league, right?
Well, I got an answer for you. It's another at-large spot. Now, everyone is getting points in these top 8s.
Okay.
And so at the end of the season, if there's 48 people that play, but only 44, right? There's 2 that get in from the preliminary area where they're playing the asynchronous league.
Yep.
And then there's 2 from every top 8. So that's 44.
Okay.
Out of 11 months. So then there's 4 spots that are at large.
Or if anyone can't make it or something like that too.
Yes, and there's already been at least one, I believe 2 times that people have taken home 2 of these invites already.
Really?
So that's just opening up extra at-large spots. So all the players that are getting close, doing well in a lot of tournaments, are probably going to get their spot at the end of the season.
You know, it does make sense that people play in these qualifier, leagues to get into the format. And if they crush it with that, who would have guessed they're going to crush it in the tournament as well?
Exactly.
So that is the one great thing about the Mana Trader series is you get a little bit of training with it. You know, most tournaments that we've played in our career, you just go and play the tournament. We might do some testing or whatever, but you're testing against the people that are going to be playing in your event and almost assuredly with the deck that they're going to be playing. Some people might deviate a little bit, but that's a nice, really kind of bit of testing that you don't really get in other big tournaments, that pay out 3,000 or anything higher amounts like that. So.
Along the same vein, one of the things about being on the coverage team for next month we got Pioneer. You can see that on the website. It's already
whoa. We always spoil that.
But it's been spoiled on the website.
Yeah, Adrian already screwed it up. Just gave that information out.
Just gave it away.
That's my favorite part of Sunday jobs here for these top 8s. And Adrian just robbed us of it.
But I'm saying, I'm going to be doing coverage next month, but I've got the regional championship coming up, and I can't think of a better way to actually prepare
than getting in my Patreon. There we go.
Stop it.
I can love
exclamation bash bros.
Yeah, there we go.
No, I can't think of a better testing grounds. Getting into the tournament than playing next month.
Should we get somebody to cover for us?
We might, and then play. I'm thinking because I need to start leveling up in Pioneer, and I can think of a better way to do it than in the Mana Trader series. What if I qualify? Then I'll need a replacement for December, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, probably. We need you here. We need you to commentate. So enough of what the nonsense that we're talking about here. We are going to be showing you all the top 8 deck lists here. Players are going to be getting it going here in about 3 minutes or so, and then we're going to jump right to the game. But first, let's check out some deck lists here. I think we're going to be taking a look at DM4X, their Doomsday list. And honestly, DM4X, I feel like it's not a Mana Trader Sunday unless we first utter their name. They pretty much, top 8 every other one of these events and just really has kind of been on a tear in multi-different formats. So really a great player here. Brad, what is Doomsday all about?
So Doomsday is all about actually casting the card Doomsday. Now what Doomsday does is it allows you to search your library and graveyard for 5 cards and exile everything else. Not from your hand, but just from those 2 zones.
Yep.
And you get to stack those 5 cards in whatever order you want. Now, how this deck used to work is very, very convoluted. But thanks to Thassa's Oracle, it sets up these very easy wins that turn with like a Black Lotus, a Gush, and a Thassa's Oracle.
I'll draw 2 cards and then win. Now, much easier. Yeah.
Exactly. And we even got to see this win on turn 1. We saw a turn 1 combo being like, I'll wait a turn to be a little bit safer. And they were not safe. They lost to turn 1 Doomsday Thassa's Oracle.
Wasn't that the game where they could have actually comboed off and won the Oops All Spells deck, right? Yeah. Oh, that was a heartbreaker.
It was a heartbreaker. But yeah, that just shows the power of this deck. Now, what we're seeing DM4X playing Doomsday up against is my favorite archetype in Legacy because I love me some artifacts. This is Prison Shops. Now, what Prison Shops is trying to do is develop a board of a lot of aggressive artifacts, early mana acceleration, and then prison type effects. And the funny thing is you see all these 1-ups. That's because most of the cards are restricted. Because they won't restrict Workshop, which is a land that taps for 3 colorless, but you can only use it for artifacts. They keep restricting all the cards that you can use for it. But
my favorite game to play so far from Vintage is guessing which 1-of is just a 1-of and or if it's actually, a restricted card in Vintage. Because some of them, you never really know. Like Snapcaster, there's a lot of one of Snapcasters.
Yeah, you see that Godpharaoh statue, you're like,
Deemed too powerful.
Too powerful indeed.
If we check in on any of these prison shop decks, I guarantee you're gonna hear and see us say, yeah, that's GG. That's GG.
That is
turn one, because their powerful starts are absolutely ridiculous. Really cool deck. So let's take a look at another one.
Yeah, give us something else. So there's 2 shop decks
in the top 2 shops, 8. The highest performing deck, essentially. All right, here's a spicy one. This is our number 1 seed, our only undefeated player playing Sultai mid-range, Brad. I mean, this is a deck that is destined for you to tell me what it does. So what's Sultai trying to do?
I really wanted to feature this round 1, but I thought the other match was going to be more interesting, and so we went with that. But this deck is really cool because it is just a mid-range dream. We've got Tarmogoyf in Vintage.
Yeah, I absolutely love it. So we are going to be checking out that DM4X playing against Prison Shops to start. But, this is the beautiful stuff about Mana Traders. We can kind of jump into other matches if, there's a couple turn 1 wins going on or something like that. Yeah. We'll be able to jump to the other matches. It sounds like our players are ready. So we're going to just jump into the game. And here we go.
Oh, no. Dark Ritual Tuesday.
Thank God we got in here when we did, huh?
Get the hand cams.
Yeah, won't even have time to get the hand cam for this one, it looks like.
We're jumping into the action. Turn 1 win.
Okay, and it is 6 cards on the other side. And this isn't a guaranteed turn 1 win. Sometimes you just go Doomsday Go,
I mean, it seems, well, if there's
got to be a Street Wraith or something. Yeah, and that's exactly what this is. This is a turn 2 win they're setting up because they have the recall. Interesting, though, right? Because couldn't you have just waited a turn and then recalled next turn, get the Black Lotus kind of thing? But now this is really risky against a deck like this, that plays Sphere of Resistance, that plays Wastelands and stuff. Like, this is going to be turn 1, destroy a land, and turn 1 Sphere of Resistance. Can DM4X win off that?
Well, I need to. Ghost Quarter is a May, right? Because Ghost Quarter causes a shuffle.
It's a May. Yes,
it is a May. Okay, so I just want to make sure. But yeah, you're gonna get stripped and a Sphere of Resistance. That might just lock out the game.
I only know it's a May because I didn't day 2 a Pro Tour once because someone I ghost cornered someone and they forgot to search. And then I learned that I have to remind them to search. It was right when those rules kind of changed over. Yeah. And then, I ended up losing. Okay, so here's Sphere Resistance, Black Lotus, Wasteland coming at Underground Sea. And now it's really going to depend because these piles that DM4X created didn't have this in mind. Maybe had it, in the back of your head. But now it's going to be interesting to see how this is stacked.
Yeah. So
I guess that's still game.
It's technically not.
Yeah, it is because you go Island, Black Lotus with the 1 mana, Black Lotus for 3 blue, cast Recall. Oh, for 2 mana.
Yeah,
you need
there
one
has
more.
to be 1 more mana, and there's no real way to get it.
Yep. Okay.
So here we can get the Black Lotus into play, get another that land will get Ghost Quartered, and then
can you Ghost Quarter a basic?
I believe you can.
Oh.
You can't Wasteland 1, but I believe you can Ghost Quarter 1. Let me check. Good thing we are at home and we can double check. Yeah, it is sacrifice, destroy target land.
Okay. Now, can you search for that land with when you're trying to find a land? Can you search for that land at all, or?
No.
Sorry, why? I had to. Why? I had to. I love you. Troll our brother every once in a while when we can.
Oh, Lodestone Golem.
Oh, baby.
That is a clock, and that is even more. So the problem with that, though, is in 2 turns, as long as the Thassa's Oracle is the 3rd card from the top.
If there's a land, though, bro, that's a Misty Rainforest. That's a fetch land.
But that Underground Sea is enough. Underground plus Black Lotus is 4 mana.
Oh, yeah.
So as long as not this card, but the next card, even if that's the Thassa's Oracle. So if that was a Street Wraith, the game would have been over.
But this recall costs 2, or this costs 3. Right?
Oh yeah, they fetched a land. They had a land left in the deck. This is just game, yeah. They had a land to search for.
Yes, of course.
Oh, okay. Beautiful sequencing to make sure there's a land left in the deck for that.
Oh, I wonder how much of that was like planned. You know, do you think that was all kind of DM4X's? I guess, I mean, the main thing of the main kind of resistance that we have from this deck is these sphere style effects from the Prison Shops deck, right?
That was experience with the deck. They knew exactly how that could play out.
Yeah.
And they had exactly the resources they needed when they did.
Yeah, that was sweet.
That was actually awesome.
I love the Doomsday deck. That is for sure what I'd be playing if I could. Like, it's a combo deck, like you said, that is kind of confusing and hard, but as far as combo decks go, it is one of the more kind of simplified ones.
I honestly don't think it's that complex. I think some of the play patterns of getting your combo to go off, but the actual like execution of the combo, it's not like Modern's Clark Line Ironworks. Even if you're sitting at home trying to navigate through the combo, you'd screw up.
Yeah.
You know, playing solitaire.
A combo that's so complicated gets banned because it's complexness. Instead of, you know, like, of course that deck was really good too, but it mostly got banned because it was too confusing to explain to people.
Now let's figure out what we're doing here. Now
we got Archive Trap, right? Like, that's the whole point.
Archive Trap is, that's
the mill 13 cards,
Yeah, so Archive Trap is a good answer to Doomsday, along with
all these restricted cards. Relic of Progenesis, Welding Jar restricted.
Yeah. not to go for that one card in the main deck.
Exactly. Yeah, that is really weird to me now. It's like normally when you have Karn the Great Creator in your deck, you just don't sideboard much, like Mono Green Devotion and Pioneer. But here it's like you have one Karn. So I mean, you know, do you really even ever bring those cards in? We're gonna find out. So game 2, blink and you will miss it. Although that was probably more turns than Doomsday likes to play.
This is an interesting one. You got 5 mana and 2 counter spells, but you get to play that turn 1 Nettle Cess, but it's not too powerful, right? It's just a 3/3.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a keep because you have 2 counter spells in your deck that doesn't have a ton of disruption.
Yeah. And then you can make it a 4/4 with your Workshop next turn, and then just, you know, that's a 5-turn clock, and obviously it can be upped by top decking something, but yeah, is it going to be enough?
Well, the funny thing is they do have Doomsday. DM4X can go off on turn 1 here. Has the Street Wraith, has the Dark Ritual, has the Doomsday, but the Archive Trap will stop all of that.
Wow. Does it though?
I believe it does, right? As long as Archive Trap works the way I think it does.
I know how it works. It's if you search, but I just don't think it's going to work. So I guess here's what's going to happen.
In response to the first, now if they had 2 Street Wraiths,
in response to the first Street Wraith. Yeah, no, you're right.
No, you couldn't even beat it with even with 2 Street Wraiths because you're going to mill out and then they're going to draw off the Street Wraith. So they're going to lose when the Street Wraith resolves.
Well, if they only had 1 trap and you had 2 Street Wraiths, you could do it.
No.
Yeah, because you go to Street Wraith and then they Archive Trap you, and then you Street Wraith again, get the Black Lotus.
And then their Archive Trap resolves, and you go to 0 cards, and then your Street Wraith
Thousandsword.
No, then your Street Wraith resolves, and then they draw a card.
Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, all right.
You know what? I'm just gonna hang up my headset here. I'm gonna let you finish.
Yeah, you are correct. Doomsday is a very complicated card.
Yeah. You know what I'm gonna play? Prison Shop.
Yeah.
That's I would much rather be on the side of Archive Trapping your combo deck. Here, that seems much more complicated. So
yeah, and
so
I mean,
how
and
do
they have the Force of Negation too, so they think they've got it. Oh no, Force can't counter on your turn, right?
no, it can't. It can't. Yeah.
Well, I don't think you get out of it. I think, and I mean, you had to fill it right. They have that many Archive Traps in their deck.
Yeah. So I mean, the only thing that I can imagine that you would be able to win is like, what if you had here? You know, I don't think it's in the deck, but hear me out. What if you had like Reanimate in your deck, and then when you get milled out at your upkeep, you just reanimate Thassa's Oracle?
It's a sorcery.
We're never doing vintage coverage again here on the Mana Train. I have no control over that, but I'm just giving myself a performance review after commentating, and this will be the last one. No, I'm just kidding. Vintage is a great format. I have been enjoying it.
Oh, that's too funny.
So now we're just setting up these Doomsday piles and just figuring out what, if anything, there you can play around. Probably DM4X is thinking, how can I beat 1 Archive Trap? You know, probably not thinking 2, but
yeah. And so they're still trying to figure it out. I mean, if there's a line that they get there, that would be amazing.
Gotta love it. Ephro in the chat. Hello, my friend.
Saying go. And
Okay. Here is whatever they're planning, but here comes Archive
It's
Trap
probably,
number 2.
Is it a Force of Will?
That would make sense. You had to say go to play around 1. But now, is there any reason to not Archive Trap right now?
Yeah, I just don't think you can beat both.
Yeah, I think this is playing around 1, and I bet this could beat 1. This is a Force of Will on top, and then a Black Lotus or something. But yeah. And even this, it's still just, you don't have that many lands. So it would still be tough, even if our Prison Shops player just went like Sphere of Resistance. You know, you got to have that in mind. So it's really complicated to do this. And there we go.
There it is. Going to game 3.
Colorless Mill takes it down here.
I like to call it, deck death.
Deck death, yeah, absolutely. And that was the Doomsday player. That was DM4X, ending their own game. If they never Doomsdayed, they would have never been in range for Archive Trap.
It's true, yeah. So now on the other side, I mean, we do have these Steel Sabotages, which will help against some of these prison pieces that they're going to be playing against. But
and what does that one do to remind people at home?
That just counters an artifact, and it might bounce one. Let me double check. Don't put me on the spot with me bringing up a card that I just said.
Yeah. Don't put me on the spot with a card that I'm currently talking about.
Yeah, don't do that. Still Sabotage. Choose 1. Counter target artifact spell. Return target artifact to its owner's hand. That's what I thought.
Okay. Yeah, and admittedly, I was saying that for me because I had no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Game number 3. A Fatal Push in hand. That's pretty interesting. That hand looked bad. That hand also looks pretty medium.
Yeah, it's a tough one because
I think you have to key it.
You just assume you're going to lose all of your cards. Like your mana immediately.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not looking good for DM4X here. And Dig Through Time.
Dig Through Time is quite slow.
And honestly, another 2 traps in hand from our Shops player, and that just looks so good. Honestly, if this game goes in favor of DM4X, I bet it's with Murktide.
Yes.
Based on this hand,
Yeah. But I mean, there's no land, so if on the opposing side, if we see just a wasteland,
anything, yeah.
That Mox Jet doesn't help cast that Chalice for 1.
Yeah, do you just always Chalice on 1? You never Chalice on 0? Because you need the Black Lotus. There's not a lot of zeros in DM4X's Doomsday deck, but a very important one that I bet gets cast every single game they win, is Black Lotus. So
I could see it. I mean, you could I don't know the lines here. I don't know the correct decision that should be made in the matchup. But a potential line you could take right now is even Chalicing on 2, which does shut down all the 2-drops.
Yeah. Shuts down Murktide if you delve all 5 cards.
I don't think it does.
Okay.
But we'll go with it.
Well, we'll just blame Vintage then.
Blame Vintage.
Wrong. The Vintage All-Star Murktide Regent.
When in doubt, blame a format. All right. Yeah, this is a tough decision, right? There's so many lines. You can Wasteland. You can play Workshop and either Chalice or Crucible. You've got double Archive Trap. So the combo is not going to happen anytime soon.
Yeah, honestly, I think that's GG.
It's GG. I mean, Force of Will probably has something to say about it, but a land has to be drawn.
Yeah.
And yeah, here it is. That can't be Force of Will.
Is it just going to be...
DM4X has no lands?
Is it just going to be a shame scoop if we don't get a land? All right. I like the suspense here, but yeah, I think DM4X is not feeling great about their chances here. All right, and here is the Chalice.
Yeah, Chalice for 0 coming down.
And that just really stops Black Lotus. But yeah, look at this. That's how important it is. Whenever you Force of Will, aka 2 cards, you're 2-for-1ing yourself to counter a 0 mana spell, that feels bad.
It does.
But hey, rewarded with a Mox Sapphire. Probably the best draw on the deck, to be honest.
Yeah, it can't be Ghost Quartered. It can't be Wastelanded.
Would have been the worst draw on the deck if that Chalice resolved.
All right, yeah, the only real line here is to play Crucible and say go. And now if of any land, any fetch land off the top.
And we got a 5/5.
And this is a big draw. Ooh, we get the redraw.
Okay.
Oh,
okay. Not the biggest rush. There's no pressure here. The only pressure is on DM4X's library count with Archive Trap. Okay, there's the pressure, though.
That was
a monster draw. Can't counter that threat. Force of Will, Time Walk. Oh, something good. And another 4s off the top. That is not what DM4X wanted to see. Wow.
Tabernacle is an interesting card to still on the deck.
Yeah. And now Tabernacle is just creatures or creatures and artifacts?
Just creatures.
Huh.
Yeah, that's a very interesting one.
Yeah, because even the one of Murktide, like, you're going to pay for that. You're going to have 1 mana lying around more than likely.
Yeah, I'm taking a look at DM4X's deck to see if there's something that would be scary besides that. No, I can't really think of anything. Maybe if we're doing some Street Wraith beats downs.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. But now we get another.
Honestly, it's kind of hard to remember to side out lands. Maybe it's just a little mistake, That'll happen.
Oh, it definitely can.
All right. And yeah, this is going to be quick. Now, even at this point, it doesn't matter if there's a land on top. I think this game is just over.
It is going to be tough, right? Because there's too much pressure and the Murktide's not going to be big enough. And that Time Walk would allow for a little bit of damage. But now, especially with the Golos coming down.
Ruh-roh. The Tireless Pilgrim coming down to boost these up to, what, 6/6s?
Wait, how does Murktide work? No, I was wondering how it works with Doomsday, but that won't matter.
It worked well.
It works well?
It works well, yeah. You exile that many cards.
Yeah.
And Murktide, you can kind of just one-shot him with a Doomsday, is what I assume, but I'm sure chat
Not even Force of Willing that.
Just mentally defeated.
Yeah.
DM4X is joining the Magic Online Challenge right now.
All right, 6 damage in, and is there... All right, so Mystical Tutor, is there anything off the top that can get us out of this? I don't believe so. Maybe Recall? Recall to exactly hit Black Lotus, because there's no Sphere, prison pieces in play.
Do you Archive Trap to put Recall...
Put whatever they want on the bottom? Probably not.
Yeah. They decided not to.
All right, let's see if a draw 3 can get them out of this.
That'll be 3 amazing Magic cards.
I don't believe it's good enough.
No. I think, honestly, what it had to be was Black Lotus and just go for the kill. Hope that they don't even have an Archive Trap or any kind of disruption.
Yeah.
And, not going to happen. So, congrats to our Shops player. Sorry, I don't have their Moto name in front of me, but congrats to them. They're going to be moving on to the top 4, and I believe we have a bracket somewhere around here.
It's this
right?
tab right there.
Excellent. So we'll try to give you some updates while our director is looking in, and that looks like the only one that's finished so far. So we'll be able to jump into some of the other matches. Odorous Urnagus. That's a name.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
I was thinking we could check out Subasa Cat and Dissolutionist if they're possible playing.
Okay, yeah, Cat, I believe they're in sideboarding right now, so heading to some game. And we'll see how many hand cams we have for this show.
I think we're good.
We should have them. Okay, excellent. We some of our players were not cooperating yesterday, but it seems like our 8 players got it together. So big thanks to all our players there. And not exactly how I thought that match was going to go, to be honest. I don't know if Prison, if that deck is really like a good matchup against Doomsday.
I mean, if you've got 4 traps in the sideboard, I feel like that's one of the reasons to make it good.
When you draw 2 of them each game.
Yeah.
Yeah, chef's kiss.
So we're going to be moving on to another Prison Shops deck, because these are...
It sounds like we're ready to head on in while we talk about this.
Yeah, against Blue Tinker.
Oh, this is the one we're watching now. Okay, perfect. I didn't know that Shops was kind of going to be the deck that grabbed to me. I've always been kind of a Hogak style gamer. So I thought that was going to be it. But that was my biggest surprise from the weekend, is the fact that I hated watching the Hogak games, and I absolutely love the Prison Shops game. They're exciting.
I mean, I'm more on the side of dredge style strategies are more fun to play than watch.
Yes.
And I feel like artifact strategies like Shops are more fun to play than play against.
Yeah. Oh, the deck with a bunch of Trinospheres and Sphere Resistance is toxic?
Yeah. But when you're a deck with Buy Force and things like that, sometimes you can really get them.
Yeah, absolutely. Buy Force in the hand up there for Disillusionist. And just 1 red, X, destroy a bunch of artifacts. Pretty good. Yeah. Essentially Shattering Sphere, but you can pay colorless mana to do so. helps out when you have cards like Mox Jet or something like that.
Yeah, Mull to 5 not as good. And what are we gonna get to see here? Are we gonna watch a sphere into
SGG?
Sphere into Chalice for 0?
SGG, as they say.
I mean, that's gonna. I feel like
you gotta counter, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
you gotta counter something here. Which one are you going to counter? I mean, you see this one first. Obviously, Disillusionist does not have the, ability that we have to be able to look at the hands. But yeah, just snap this off.
Yeah, and then if that Chalice comes down for 0, yeah, that's 2 cards. Mull to a Scalding Tarns and a Byforce.
Wow.
Yeah, wow indeed.
Just starting your turn with 2 cards is peak vintage here.
It's not great, Bob.
Not great.
All right, so now we're going to be able to see a Nettle Cyst or a Phyrexian Broker if there is something that you really want to name out there, and then...
Oh, you can. Honestly, you can play Phyrexian Revoker, and they're forced to fetch, and then you could Ghost Quarter. I bet this deck has... I bet this deck has a basic.
It does not. Basics in this format?
Yeah. No. Yeah, that's a good point. Well, we saw like Snow Island, but
no,
it sounds like I was getting word from Adrian about something there. What did you say there, buddy?
Oh yeah, we can't hit lands. We did this yesterday.
That's right. We were testing chat to make sure they're awake.
That's correct. That's correct. That's what we were doing.
All right, I'm gonna guess it's gonna be 3 people that's gonna say Revokers can't be hit on land this time. I went for 6 last time. We got 4. I was a little ambitious.
Yeah.
But... Yeah, okay, so we get Volcanic Island here. Scalding Tarn probably picks up another Volcanic Island. And yeah, that's the problem with these style of decks. You don't really want to play Island in your deck when you have
multiple colors.
Yeah, multiple colors, really tough things to cast. You got to cast them on time. But that's going to be pretty vulnerable.
You have to get all the way up to Esper Mana to cast your Sphinx of the Stillwind.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you win. You just hard cast that for 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems a little difficult in the format from the games we've watched, but I'm not going to judge the deck building.
Yeah, I guess you just have to use Black Lotus to make 3 black.
Oh, you've got Ruby.
You gotta really hope to get one of your pearls or something. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so Scalding Tarn is going to get cracked. Now, is this going to be for a Demonic Tutor or just going to fire off that Byforce? I don't feel like you just fire it off.
I don't think so either. I think you at least wait to try to get a little bit more value and get that Nettle Cyst. I bet there is some thought of just firing it off on just Nettle Cyst though, because you already know you're not going to have one of these lands when you untap. God, maybe that is a reason to hit Chalice, because Mox Jet at least lets you cast your Demonic Tutor as well. Like that's a lucky Mox in that sense. Deciding to just Demonic Tutor. What do we get, Brad?
It's always the recall, right?
Yeah.
Or it could have been that. Yeah, it can't be a Black Lotus. So yeah, it's always the recall.
So this is going to be a big draw. If if Cat can find a Wasteland or a Ghost Quarter and leave that stranded, who doesn't find it?
Soul Ring was an insanely good draw because that allows to cast the Golos
and Ghost Quarter. Yeah, nice. Absolutely. Commander staple. Soul Ring coming in. Yeah, get Golos and Wasteland? What do you get?
Yeah, I mean you're not really in a need for a bunch of mana. I mean you could potentially get another you don't really need another Saga either.
Yeah, or you get the not library, the blue land that makes a lot of mana, but you don't need that either.
No, there's no reason to need an Academy here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you just get the Strip Mine. Or Ghost Quarter Wasteland.
I think Wasteland. Yeah.
Or Ghost Quarter.
I think you get Wasteland.
Okay.
Strip Mine. You win again.
Don't you mess with me. Okay. All right, yep. That's what I would do too. Take away the Volcanic.
Now, you're going to cast Recall and you're going to try to find some land so you can eventually ideally Byforce, Nettle Cyst, Golos, and Chalice. But by that point, now the Saga is going to start cranking out constructs. So this is looking really bad for Disillusionist.
Porkill's Recall is so big.
Oh, God, that's huge, but you can't cast these Moxes. Yeah. Alpine Moon is also a really nice pickup. Okay, and here's Strip Mine just to seal this out, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Because, I mean, like, the draw you really need is Black Lotus. Can't cast it.
Yeah, and that's just going to be enough damage for a 2-turn clock. So I don't think there's a way out.
Is this going to be Shops meeting in the top 4 then, or?
This will be this will be a top 4, which we will be watching. We
Yeah,
will 100% be watching.
We will be watching the Shops, absolutely. And it looks like we got another update, I believe, from our number 1 seed who didn't lose a match. Naturally, like it happens every single tournament. If you, this is just free advice here for all of you that are about to play a tournament. If you
he usually charges for it.
I usually charge for it. Absolutely. Yeah. If you are playing a 7-round tournament, 9-round tournament, whatever, and you are 8-0, 7-0, you're undefeated going into the last round, scoop it up. Scoop it up. Go get yourself a meal, lay down on the couch, relax.
Or offer
a draw because Turn 1 Tinker does lose the quarterfinals after they go XO. It is a foregone conclusion. Yeah. It'll always happen.
2 Swift Warkite who snuck in was the sole 5-2 on Breaker.
The sole 5-2, yep, playing Hogak. So Hogak will advance. Oh my God.
We can have a Hogak mirror on one side and a Shots mirror on the other.
We gotta watch that Hogak mirror, Brad. Come on.
Of course. We're gonna have to hold one of the matches because they're both so good. We need to see them.
So good, yeah. All right, everyone. So it looks like we are gonna be taking a short break while we get the top 4 set up.
Oh, okay.
But do not go anywhere because you blink and you miss it. These Sunday top 8s for Mana Traders are already really fast.
Yes.
In a normal, I'd say normal, not vintage. It's not a normal format. Well, to be fair, it is not. It's a very unique format. It's very difficult. Yeah. But I've had a lot of fun watching. But especially with vintage, when we see a lot of turn 1 kills, it's going to go even faster. So we're going to take ourselves a short break, but don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with the top 4 coverage of the Mana Trader series. All right, everybody, welcome back to coverage here of the Mana Trader series featuring Vintage. My name is Corey. That's Brad Nelson. We're going to be bringing you coverage all day, and we are going to jump right into a top 8 match still in progress. We thought they were on the final game. There was a Karn lock to seal it up for our Paradoxical Outcome player, but it sounds like that was not indeed their last game, so we think they're going to a game 3. We're going to check it out right now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay.
So they're in sideboarding. We've got a stream timer up.
God, this director,
he's great.
He's just something else. Okay, so this is that card lock that I was talking about. So this seals it up. And
we weren't going to come into this game right away.
yeah. I think this was a pretty easy one to break down, though, out of all of this. So, all right, bro, who do you like in this matchup? Do you like the PO deck or do you like the Dirty Deck?
Well, I actually like both decks, but if I had to pick a winner, I'm going to go with, let's check sideboard, see how much graveyard hate we actually have.
Yeah, that's really the main thing.
Yeah, so there's really only a Tormod's Crypt in the sideboard.
And a lantern, and 1 lantern,
Yeah, and I'm guessing that the advantage goes, I would have to guess to Hogak.
I would assume, though, that if you just resolve a Sphinx, you just win. Right? Like, it's got too much stats. And, like, how is Hogak attacking through that is what I would think.
That is true. I mean, I have no idea. I mean, I know that both decks have degenerate draws, right? Like you could take infinite turn starting on turn 1 if you have the best draw.
From Hogak, right?
Yeah, from Hogak. Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so that's a Boseiju. Okay, that's a mulligan.
And we're going to see another mulligan.
Yeah, it's just like, honestly, I was watching Canister stream this deck a little bit. And to a very medium result, I will say. And it's just like you mulligan every single hand until you get a Bazaar. And it just never really looked that good. It didn't really look that good yesterday. I know there is 2 decks that made it in, but it was not overly impressive to me. Like kind of like I thought this deck would be in Vintage.
Well, one of the things, we're going to see 3 creatures played this turn in a Hogak. But
this is the best draw we have seen, though, to be honest, from a Hogak, at least on camera. I know these happen, but
2 root walls and a hollowed one on turn 1. And
Yeah.
then that Guy's Cradle is most likely going to get that Hogak into play on turn 2.
Yeah, we do have this Force of Will that I'm guessing has to be cast here, but that kind of really destroys our PO player's hand.
I mean, well, you forced a hollowed one, and then you Pithing Needle the Bazaar. Now you're just taking some hits from some root wallows, and that you can get back from.
That's a very good point. That's a good point.
And then by turn 2, you're able to untap your Pithing Needle. Like, but that is huge.
Hear me out, bro. Yeah. But hear me out, bro. Gaia's Cradle, tap it, pump root wallow.
I mean, we will probably see that next turn.
Bang.
That is a banger.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Force of Will, pitching the Paradoxical Outcome to keep that.
And then just praying that there's not another one.
All right, so let's see what our Tinker player is going to draw. All right, so they draw a Grim Monolith. So that's actually really nice with the Manifold Key to generate a ton of mana.
Yeah, holy cow.
Yeah, that can all come down right now.
Okay. And now with a Brainstorm on the Polluted Delta, if you can find something good.
So one of the interesting things is, yeah, couldn't you have also put the Grim Monolith into play?
Grim Monolith, it adds 3 colorless, right?
Yeah, but I know
you have to pay to untap it or something.
Yeah. Never mind. You would have to have paid. It'll generate more mana next turn.
Okay.
All right, so they're gonna go with Wood of Fidel's first to go get a Taiga to pump that Blaze, or probably cast another Root Wall, and then the Guy's Cradle will start pumping in the following turns. This deals more damage in the long term.
And we are getting somewhat close to Hogak being cast from the yard. Not quite yet, but it is getting close. That's
next
4,
turn.
5, 6. Yeah, with the Cradle. Yeah, absolutely. And that's a big deal. That's the actual pressure.
It's a big deal, but so is a Brainstorm. Brainstorm can, literally right now, Brainstorm can find the win.
Yeah, just take infinite turns, huh?
Yeah.
Oh my god. All right, there's Force of Will. Not exactly what you want.
I mean, you kind of have to just go for it, right?
Yeah, and you can counter Hogak next turn, I guess, if you find another blue card, but
maybe that's the play you want to make. I mean, without it being a fetch or a Guy's Cradle. All right, yeah, just not even going to play the Grim Monolith.
Okay. Yeah, doesn't want to take the damage, maybe, and that's a small factor.
Yeah, maybe doesn't see the relevance in it yet. All right, there it is.
Okay, going with the pump. Looks like we're not even going for Hogak. We got a plan.
Yeah, just beat him down. I mean, that's 7 damage for 2 turns.
Yeah.
And so that shuts this.
All those abilities are only activate once, right?
Well, actually, this combat, because of going down this line. Now, I didn't do the math of the hollowed one or the Hogak, but this line at least means that if you tap the Ancient Tomb or if you fetch, you're dead next turn. So the game will end going to next turn. One way or the other, this game is coming to a close.
Yeah, wow. All right, I'm glad we got to catch this game 3 because this is a nice one. Yeah, you gotta love in Vintage the power level of if your deck's absolutely busted combo gets broken up. Sometimes you're just like you revert to limited, like the just small creatures. Maybe play a 2-3 timer.
Oh, not even brainstorming, just drawing for the turn. Okay, well you gotta go brainstorm now. But now that if the brainstorm at last turn, you had outs to draw to find that Tinker, but now you need a blue card to be involved with it.
Okay, here's brainstorm. Gataxian Probe.
That's game because you can't shuffle.
Wow, that is a horrible collection of cards.
Yeah. I mean, it's a beautiful collection of cards in the abstract.
Yes.
But not on a brainstorm when you're facing lethal.
I mean, the only thing you can really do now is take a couple damage, untap that Pithing Needle, and scoop it up.
Get that on tap end, baby.
Yeah, and just looking at it now, you get to play Saga. And at this point, our PO player is just hoping that they don't do exactly what they just did. Praying that they play Hogak, pretty much.
And not swing for lethal?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess you can't spend mana to cast Hogak. Never mind, right?
Why not?
Isn't that just how the card works?
Oh, is it?
I thought so. Like you have to delve.
It's been a long
It's
time.
it has been a while, but
it has been a hot minute. You can't spend mana to cast spells. Never mind.
Yeah, okay,
Never mind. We are all bad. Sorry. Sorry, chat.
You know what? If chat can't handle us at our vintage, they don't deserve us at our modern.
Yeah.
And here it is. I'm sure they are exchanging GGs in the chat, and that is going to be 2 Hogaks against 2 Shop decks, and we will be having a Shops Hogak finals.
That is, I'm down.
I'm
down for 0 blue cards.
Yeah,
0 blue cards in the top 4. 0. That's so.
Oh, you are
That's wrong because it's
completely wrong. Archive traps.
Yep.
The old sideboard archive traps. Welcome back to our digital booth here, everyone. We are going to be taking, maybe even a very short break.
Do we need one?
Yeah, or if they're just, getting back into it, we can just go depending on what our director says. But
all right.
Yeah.
I'm just exiting out of all these windows that don't matter anymore.
Don't contain.
Do you got
shops.
blue cards?
So
GTFO.
Maybe we can just put up that shops deck list because we are going to be looking at the shops deck first because it's more fun than a Hogak mirror. I maybe will be able to jump into it, but I kind of have a feeling the Hogak mirror is going to finish before our shops mirror.
I do, but I don't want to miss any of the shops. Yesterday, my highlight for the day was when we watched the shop mirror play for top 8.
Same.
It was so much fun.
That's GG.
That's GG.
Honestly, and it was, just absolutely like the pendulum swinging back and forth of advantage bars. Like every single turn came with just so many swings, and it was really fun.
And it's kind of an absurd mirror because what ends up happening is both decks have so many mana denial abilities that the Trinispheres are kind of reign supreme early.
Yeah.
Because if one player gets the Trinisphere down, they can start locking the opponent out of additional mana. So they need the Black Lotuses or Workshops to boost them up. But then once a Golos comes down, it kind of feels like that swings in that person's direction because they get not only the additional land in play, which can break up those interactions of wastelanding with Trinispheres, but also potentially get more of what I think the most important card in the matchup into play is Urza Saga.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Crucible.
Well, Crucible is initially, but eventually whoever can get the Urza Sagas going is the one that's going to that wins the later game.
Okay.
So early game Trinisphere is by far the most important. But a Golos can break you out of Trinisphere. Well, you have to get your own Trinisphere.
Okay.
For that. But a Golos, what we saw is when they had Trinisphere parity, that Golos gives you that additional land, which allows you to have something beneficial happening like an Urza Saga along with your utility lands. And we really saw that beating people up.
Yeah, absolutely. It was always that kind of like whichever player could stick the one big threat. And I remember one of the games we watched, it was like they got the 2 sagas in play and basically couldn't lose because they were getting Wasteland 1 turn at a time with Crucible in play for both players, but they were still always getting to activate Saga there, at least, for a couple of turns. And that was just enough to seal the deal. So, yeah, it is going to be a very interesting game.
My opinion is, my bold claim is the person who wins the die roll will win the match. But it's kind of like fireworks are really. You know what's going to happen, but it's still nice to see them.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I might think that whoever wins the die roll is probably going to win the match in a best of 3.
Yeah.
But I still want to watch the fireworks. I want to see the explosions.
Absolutely. Yeah. The Magic would be a lot less fun if you just win a die roll and you're like, all right, well, don't need to watch this. That's it. GG. All right. So it sounds like players are going to be getting paired up here shortly, and we'll be taking a look at it. But I want to ask you something while we're still talking about these prison decks. Like, what do you sideboard against these decks when it's essentially a mirror? I think the lists are a little bit different. But it is essentially a mirror match.
Yeah, I mean so one of our players has 4 Crucibles in the main deck, and the other has
3 and 1, I think, right? Yeah, here's the other list.
So after sideboard, that's going to be important to have all of those in your main deck. It's the most important early game card. Mm-hmm. Nettlecyst is also something that you're going to want because a few of the denial aspects of the deck, like the Trinisphere, is just something you don't need access to. Yeah. Because even if you play it out, your opponent will have the Workshop to break free from it. And I'm guessing that for Extreme Revokers, I do think I saw them after sideboard. But the reality is there's not a lot of cards to bring in. You're going to bring in the Relic and any graveyard hit you have, because that also helps break up the Trinisphere battles by exiling your opponent's land, so they can't recur their wastelands and they need to find additional copies of ways to interact.
Yep.
So all the graveyard hate, all the Trinispheres, all the Nettle Sentinels is what I believe we're going to see as sideboarding.
Okay.
As for what comes out, I'm guessing some of the Prism pieces, because they're not as important. Like I could see Chalice coming out, Thorn, Sphere potentially.
Okay. Well, it's going to be some exciting stuff. Players are getting paired right now. We're going to see who's going to be prison breaking out of the the semifinals and into the finals.
Where we're going to see, I don't even know how the Hogak versus Shops matchup is like.
I don't know either, but you know,
I feel like Hogak has to be.
It has to be fair. That's what I was going to say too. It actually seems very favored for Hogak, because this deck is very good at stopping a bunch of spells. You know, this Shops wants to play against blue cards. You know, it's just always denying all of that. But playing against a bunch of free creatures, that doesn't sound great. You know, even like Sphere of Resistance and stuff, does that even do anything to Madness creatures? Do they have to pay one?
You have to pay.
They do. Okay, so at least it does something, and the deck doesn't have a lot of mana. But enough of us talking about it. Let's be about it and check out the semifinals between our two colorless prison shop decks.
All right, so what are we looking at? We're seeing Cat mulliganing. Let's take a look at this bottom hand. We've got a Workshop, a Golos, Soul Ring, Moxie. That's a turn 1 Golos.
Okay, and I want to remind players, not only is a ton of money on the line, but the winner of each of these semifinals, bro, bam, heads to that December tournament.
Hell yeah. And more details for that. Hopefully next month we'll get a lot of details about what that tournament's going to look like. And
yep, absolutely. And a reminder to everyone, this is usually the time that we let you know what the next Mana Traders series is going to be. It will be on that last weekend, kind of the normal weekend here, the 27th and the 28th. And it will be Pioneer. Adrian ruined our big reveal yesterday, so kind of really completely derailed the whole show.
I mean, I think it's fair because we kind of ruin his weekends every time we have to work.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's contractually obligated to listen to us. Yeah, that is a good point. Yeah. But that will be Pioneer next month, and I'm really excited about that one.
Prison Break.
yes. I take back everything we said about Adrian. That is amazing, and we love you.
All right, so we have Soul Ring. Are we going to see Black Lotus Golos turn 1? I don't see any reason not to just power off the Golos.
Absolutely.
And then what land are we getting? Is it going to be a strip land, or is this going to be a utility?
I think this feels like a Saga to me.
Yeah, just get the Saga out. Yeah. Just go the beatdown.
Just multiple ways of pressuring. Seems like a good start.
Especially against a mold of 4.
And anybody who is like, wow, these casters do not know that much about Vintage. 1, hurtful, thank you, but you know, you're kind of right. But 2, we know some stuff about Pioneer, so we'll be back to our really higher level. I'm not going to say high level.
I already have my plans. I'm going to Gen Con next week.
Okay.
And then when I get back home, I am kicking back my stream off. I haven't streamed since May.
Okay.
And I'm going to be using my Mana Treasure account, and I'm going to start
learning some Pioneer. And you're going to play Hogak.
I'm going to start learning some Pioneer.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, that sounds great. It's an absolutely really fun format right now. It's my favorite format right now. And I was kind of shocked at that because I've loved Modern for so much, but I'm just kind of bored of it. Same decks.
I'll give you my tech too. I've been looking at deck lists, haven't played any.
Oh.
I'm going to be playing some red black, or should I give it to you and then you give it on your Patreon?
Yeah, probably on my Patreon. Yeah, if you want to pay me the $15 to get in, you know.
And then I can give you information in your Discord, and then you can sell it later.
Regurgitate it.
Perfect. That's what I'll do.
Buddy. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. So getting caught up in this game, we see the old turn 1 Phyrexian Revoker and Ghost Quarter the Saga to leave it down to 1 threat. And now we have another Wasteland, another Ghost Quarter in hand. So we're going to be destroying lands. And neither player really doing anything, but Golos is winning this clock right now. So definitely advantage to our player on the bottom.
Yeah, I was pretty sad because if you kind of got to go off, quote unquote, there, and there wasn't more mana denial from Cat, we would have been able to see Caracas bouncing Golos and recasting it.
Oh, baby.
Yeah.
The value. The
value.
Honestly, I always see like Caracas in decks, you know, and I see it in, you know, like even sideboards of like Delver decks in Legacy and stuff. I suppose it's a completely different format, but I've never seen it actually return a legendary creature. Like, I feel like there's not a lot of legendary creatures that we've been seeing. I think like Sphinx, the Tinker targets would probably be the main cause for it, but I guess Hogak as well.
I mean, it's just kind of a free roll to add as a utility land in a deck with 4 Golos.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It was way more impactful in older day Legacy.
That's fair. Back in my day.
Back in my
day. Now, Brad, why didn't this Nettlecyst get cast?
Because the Soul Ring is being locked down by the Phyrexian Revoker.
That makes sense. Yeah. Most of those effects, these Revoker style effects, Pithing Needle and stuff, usually they put the keyword that except for mana abilities.
Not using the Ghost Quarter here. Now, is it going to... Okay, it's going for the upkeep. Okay. Yeah, which makes a lot of sense, because if it didn't happen, that Nettlecyst would come down and Cat would be kicking themselves. But yeah, a redundant copy of Golos. Attack for 3, probably play the Strip Mine, say go. Yeah, if you didn't have the Nettlecyst in hand, maybe you hold the Strip Mine in case the opponent does end up... I guess it won't matter, but they
Crucible.
That's big game.
That's decent, yep. Would you call that GG?
I wouldn't call it GG. I would not call it GG because
big draw step here for a land, though.
Yes.
Land or a mana source.
Something to be able to get this Nettlecyst into play.
To be able to up the pressure to a little bit more. Karn, the great creator, unfortunately not going to be doing any creating here for a while. Yeah. But here's another chunk for 3. Now, if we find something like Lodestone Golem, Cat is just winning this game.
Urza Saga off the top.
Wow. That was a great draw. That was a great draw. And GG. All right. And just in, I'm getting an update from the other table. The Hogak match is over. Hogak won. I'm just guessing. I actually didn't get any word, but just assuming it's over with how fast that deck is.
Now, that is nice. Drawing that Wasteland at least allows for killing that Urza Saga, trying to bleed down.
You have to do it now.
Well, you have to. And then you kind of have to hope to draw another one next turn.
Yep. Or
force that Revoker to chump.
Yeah, okay, because it is going to be next turn. Yeah, force the Revoker to chump. And then, it's still rough here.
Well, it won't be rough the following turn. Go down to 2 life. That's Sphere Resistance. The interesting thing is they might not cast it, but if they decided to cast that Sphere Resistance right now, not only would it give that Construct 1 extra pump, but it would lock out a lot of the more interesting draws to get that Nettlecyst into play.
Yeah. I think the best draw is Black Lotus right now, right?
That's already gone. That was a turn 1 Golos. Oh, Mana Bolt is the draw to get the Nettlecyst into play, though.
Holy cow. Is that...
If the sphere came down, this wouldn't be possible.
Oh, no.
So now... but the reality of this is that Urza Saga is going to be able to make a 5/5.
Yep.
And so that'll be able to kill or trade depending with the Nettlecyst or the Golos next turn. So I do still think that this Urza Saga is going to get the job done.
Yeah, I think you're right. But I mean, you do have to chump. That is a problem.
Well, so it's creature for creature. So if you block the Golos with the 5/5 and the Phyrexian Revoker chumps, and then next turn you make another construct, they can double block the Germ. So I still think that this game almost assuredly is going to go to Cat.
But I'm saying right now, you get to unlock 2 mana for your Soul Ring.
That is true.
Yeah. I guess one option you can do, no, because you don't have the mana yet, I was going to say, is just re-equip Nettlecyst.
Still
not really going to do it.
Yeah, still won't be big enough. So yeah, I mean, I think...
Well, you'd be able to make a 7/9 Golos, which would be nice.
Decided not to play the Jet first to make it a 5/5.
Interesting. Yeah, that doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I think they wanted them to kill the Germ because then they could re-equip.
Yeah, and the 4/4 would still kill the Construct because the Revoker is going away as well. But now it's kind of perfect blocking Golos.
Yep.
Where Golos is going to die, and that Construct will have 3 damage on it with 4 artifacts.
Yeah, just nothing. Just you can play the Mox, but that's Can do it. Upkeep, make another Karn Struck to put Urza Saga maybe back into play.
And yeah, get something. Maybe get a Black Lotus.
Getting Black Lotus with an Urza Saga is pretty messed up.
It is messed
up.
It's
pretty messed up.
Urza Saga, is already such a great card too. I love the design of Urza Saga. It's like wildly different in a lot of different games. It goes into a lot of different decks. Like I just think it's a really fun card. The farther you go back in formats, more degenerate it gets.
It does. Yeah. I mean, I honestly, I mean it. Playing Jund Sagabon, Zoomer Jund,
yes,
was one of the most fun experiences I've ever had playing Modern.
And honestly, at the Invitation almost exactly a year ago, we both played Is It Turns and stuff, which we both like that style of Magic as well. So same for me. That Invitation was great. Just playing Shadow, one of my favorite decks. Oh, bring me back.
1 mana short would have been able to play that Karn last turn if they had a different draw and would have been able to completely change how this game played out. But that's it.
Absolutely. Cat's out of the bag and Cat's out of game one with a victory. 1 game away from locking up that December tournament.
And a cool couple $1,000.
And a cool couple $1,000. Okay, so this is, the shop's deck list. Basically identical. And after sideboard, it's probably going to be exactly identical because,
Very
4
close.
Crucible will be in the main. Of course, depending on how the player sideboard and stuff. But yeah, we talked about it a little bit before, bro. What are you siding in?
Well, I'm going to be bringing in all the graveyard hate because that also interacts when there's a Crucible of Worlds mirror.
Yeah.
When both players are interacting that way, that's a way to interact with your opponent's lands in the graveyard and stop them and break up their combos. I'm going to be bringing in the Nettle Cyst as just good beaters. So when you don't draw the robust package of trying to combo off with Crucibles, you can at least beat your opponent down with early Nettle Cyst. Because one of the things about the mirror is, you can have the Crucible, you can have all that locked up, but if you don't have an Urza Saga, if you don't have a Golos or a Nettle Cyst, you have a lot of these combo pieces, but none of the creatures. And so you can draw some of the creatures and attack them.
Makes sense.
I will also note that my prop bet with myself, I lost because
you lost a prop bet with yourself. Okay.
Well, I said that every player on the play was going to win, but that did not happen. Cat did break serve on a Mold of 4. Keep in mind.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was a turn 1 Golos.
That was a turn 1 Golos loss against a Mold of 4. Cat came back from a Mold of 4 on the draw.
Yeah, Cat got your tongue on that one. That's
Mind break trap. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, but will you please just acknowledge that beautiful statement?
What was it?
Cat got your tongue on that one.
Cat got my tongue on that one, yeah.
Yeah, Mind Break Trap is an interesting one. I think I got to refresh myself on what that does. It counters it if they played 3 spells or something, right?
Once they played 3 spells, you can cast it for free.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like you play 2 mana.
It stops that first big turn. It would stop turn 1 Golos.
Yep.
It makes sense if you're on the draw to try to do that,
It would counter this turn 1 Crucible of Worlds.
Yeah. Turn 1 Crucible with the Strip Mine in hand. You know what we call that in the business? That's
game.
GG.
And also, I mean, what do they have as a response here? Like
bridge. Yeah, that's not very good. It's very close to turn 1 Golos, but close is not good enough in this scenario right now.
And I mean, yeah, this is tough. See, these are those early draws that are like, what do you do? Like, if you play land, you just start getting all your lands blown up starting at the beginning of this game now.
Yeah. But you don't know that.
Well, but what I'm saying is, I'm just saying, like, how these games can start.
Yes.
Like, honestly, like, I could see that being a mulligan. That 6 card hand seemed like a mulligan to me.
Yeah, it didn't look good.
No, and Snaring Bridge and Golos just aren't strong enough unless they're, like, Golos is being played on turn 1.
Yep. And, I mean, maybe it's okay against certain draws, but I also don't know why Ensnaring Bridge is in the deck.
It doesn't, I mean, well, it can't, is there any way to actually remove it?
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, just literally just carning your opponent out and latticing them, and then they just have to draw all their spells they can't get.
Yeah,
that's a way to eventually do it.
Yep, that's fair. Because you can't even attack with Mycos and Platus out, right? Your opponent can't attack either.
No, you can.
Oh, you can.
They just can't activate abilities, and all the mana sources are activated abilities.
Okay, gotcha.
Like your force is an activated ability.
Sure. Just getting word that Hogak won the other match. Thank you, Adrian. Highbrow stuff. Highbrow stuff. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see which player took it down because that's Skenaris McWalks. Honestly, looking at all these names, they did not want it to be easy for us to call these by their Magic Online handles. They're all
that's just our North Dakota education.
That's
kicking us in the butt, Corey. That's what that is.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's what that is. When they said go outside and read a book, we just went outside.
Yeah, exactly. Kickball is way more fun than books. Yeah, that's a fact. So bridge coming down here. That is Golos able to be cast next turn if we don't just see strip mine after strip mine after strip mine after strip mine.
And I feel like you do just want to keep stripping them and lock them out of, because you can't attack with everything.
Yeah.
But I do feel like a card like Ensnaring Bridge is just on this board state will give you time to maybe find a Crucible for yourself.
Yeah.
But it's delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, and Chalice here, an awful pickup. Chalice is also another card that you would think you want to take out because, well, you're playing the same deck. So if you're naming cards that hit your opponent's deck, that hits your deck. You know?
But yeah, so we didn't see a Phyrexian Revoker come down because it's already locking out that Jet, and they're probably holding the rest to lock them out of any additional mana they might draw.
Well, we're going to see Ghost Quarter get stripped.
Yeah. And another attack for 2.
Now do you play a Revoker? You have a lot of them. Oh, wait. No, their own Jet is locked out, right?
Yeah, their own Jet is locked out.
Oh, okay. Makes sense. Didn't know that's what you said. My bad. Get another attack for 2. Going to be able to do this for a couple turns. All right, we're going to see Nettlecyst get cast here, though. Oh, we no longer have the Mishra's Workshop.
No.
So, no, can't cast that.
No, you can just
God, this feels miserable from the other side.
Yep. All right, just play another Wasteland. All right, Nettlecyst off the top. Now that can be cast. No, there's no mana that gives a bunch. But yeah, just grab a strip mine from the graveyard.
Yep.
Waste.
It ain't much, but it's honest work.
This is honest work. This Revoker is just doing work.
Actually, I don't think this is very honest work right now. This is some scam work right now. You can cast Phyrexian Revoker on like Mox Ruby here.
Yeah, I mean, and then
take 2, and there goes your land. Yeah,
and I mean, you do want to do something, or that's going to allow the Karnstruct to attack.
Yeah, good point.
Because currently it is under the bridge. It is now no longer under the bridge.
No longer under the bridge, and now we're going to be 3 cards here.
This is quite fun though, because what'll happen is, if this trade does happen,
you just play another one
on Mox Jet, and then waste the Ancient, and we're just back in the same spot. Yeah, these Crucibles are messed up.
Oh my God, yeah. This is definitely, a lot of the games we were watching yesterday from these Shops Mirrors is both players had Crucible. But, wow, no attack, bro.
I guess you're like, well, that's fine, because you're going to eventually, they're going to run out of lands, and you're going to start making your land drops, and then you can start casting your spells.
But still, you just get to get in damage. End this game before Cat can draw Black Lotus into something that's actually relevant. And with 3 other Revokers, did they think that 1 mana during our bottom player Shop's turn was going to actually do something?
No, I mean it could have been a judgment call. I mean, it was for sure a judgment call. I would have attacked. But also I've seen a lot of lines that I was wrong on throughout this weekend.
Honestly, I think we've been wrong about more lines than we've been right about lines so far. And I'm happy with it. I think we've gotten about 42%.
I have spent a decade on this brand for people to know what to expect. A decade.
You spent a decade lowering your own brand to make sure expectations are lower.
Yes, it has been a very difficult tightrope.
Yeah. Hey, we made it pretty easy when we had the Bash Bros podcast. Then we were putting that brand awareness on for both of us. I still am shocked people continued to want our services. After that. It's like, have you ever listened to this? Wait, don't do that. You haven't listened to this. Okay, then yes, you can hire us.
So we're going to see that trade, and I believe we're just going to see that same line that we talked about last turn.
I don't know. I think I'd put it on Ensnaring Bridge. Get that ability out of there.
All right, so we're probably going to see a Phyrexian Revoker come down, lock out Mox Jets again.
You don't name Ensnaring Bridge to stop that ability? You're not going to... You're going to just ignore that stupid comment I said?
I would save it for the Pithing Needle.
Oh, okay, good call, good call. Yeah.
Yeah.
I prefer untapping the Pithing Needle in my decks. Yeah.
All right. No Rod is not gonna do it.
Okay. So
And now we start to see them generating.
now you get sagas. Yeah.
Now you finally have time to get your
So
saga.
this is turn 9, and 7 out of the 9 turns were spent with picking up Wasteland out of your graveyard and pointing it at
someone killing someone's lands. Yeah.
Yeah. That looks like we're gonna get a good old game 3 here.
Yeah, I can't see any top deck, right?
No, I don't think so.
Not at this point.
Yeah, now that Black Lotus is named with Revoker as well. Mishra's Workshop. Okay, this is Nettle Cyst.
And this is and then this is Nettle Cyst, and then you can just Chalice for 0. I guess you don't need to worry about that.
Yeah, there's still 2/2. I mean, honestly, that's a thing.
But this is gonna be a long game.
Brad, try not to hide your excitement here.
Oh no.
All right, here's a strip mine. And we got ours as sagas. And yeah, do you attack? So you could attack with both, then replay a Revoker and get 2 damage in. It's probably not. But yeah, I guess this is the ever popular go wide strategy in shop smears.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, and then next turn they'll be able. Oh, they still won't be able to get underneath all the Revoker.
Yeah.
For the bridge. So my hope here is that they don't draw more lands to cast these cards, so that the Revokers can win the game.
Yeah. Well, we also get to see Saga search up something. Is there anything you can search up that locks it up?
I don't think so. I think it's all just like mana and denial stuff.
Yeah, it's like Black Lotuses and stuff.
Yeah, just Black Lotuses. Nothing of relevance.
Yeah, just minor Lotuses. So, yep, there was not lands to be drawn. Probably the absolute worst draw there. A Golos, a 5-drop. So now we're gonna see this. And now, what do? Do you attack with your 3 Revokers?
Well, you do have that is lethal, right?
Yeah, but I guess.
What are they all on?
Mox.
Emerald, Black Lotus.
Yeah, Mox, Jet, Lotus.
So this will open up the Jet.
Yeah.
With the attack. You could also.
Ooh, Mishra's Workshop has another 2/2 to attack with.
Next turn, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, maybe they just do that.
Ooh, I would have played the Workshop.
Or they're just going for the long game, right? Why try to kill your opponent when you've got them locked out? You can just do it next turn.
But the whole killing the opponent thing is pretty enticing to me.
Yeah. Which card did you want them to play?
Mishra's Workshop instead of Urza Saga.
Why?
Because you can attack with it, right?
No, Mishra's.
Oh, Mishra's Factory is what I'm thinking. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
They probably don't even play that, huh?
No.
Okay. Well, no. Thanks everyone for watching. I'm just gonna head on out of here. All right, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Sorry, chat. My bad.
I still just don't see why. I mean, just attack with your 3 creatures and deal 4, and then attack and deal 2.
They want to get their camera time in.
Yeah, I guess. But yeah, if you do that, I mean, you
Spirit
open up
Resistance.
the Jet.
Yeah, you open up the ability for them to pay the 1 tax on Spirit Resistance by giving them the Jet, you know?
I mean, in good game theory, maybe it's correct to just go and just eventually just win out with your Karn or God's Fair statue.
Because honestly, probably what our bottom player is thinking about, be like, they're going to block the Revoker that has Black Lotus, and then it's going to spiral out from there. You know, like, that could be real. We know with looking at the hand, we're like, just attack. But, you know, that would make sense to me to play around.
Yeah.
And you just get Karn eventually, and you destroy the bridge. Probably the only way, right? We're looking at the deck list here.
Well, you can't even destroy it that way. You can animate it, but it doesn't kill it. Like if this game goes to its true conclusion, it will be God's Fair statue dealing 6 damage.
Oh, yes. That makes sense.
That is the actual way. That is how this game will end.
Man, is it crazy that I kind of want to check in on that Hogak mirror?
Yeah. I was really like, can we just skip this and go to a different match? And then we're like, oh, this is the literal only match.
This is the only match.
And it is blocking them. We can't just go to the finals.
Yeah, I love that. You know, we were hyped about this coming in, but we didn't really realize ensnaring bridge could be a possibility. So what if God's Pharaoh statue is the bottom card of the library?
Then
Or if it's in the bottom 6.
So I don't. Well, yeah, because all these constructs are too big.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll see what happens.
That's the spirit. That's the spirit.
I mean, maybe they can. Well, they can find their card and get the Trinisphere if they can get that early, and then they can attack because then they're completely locked out.
Okay.
Right? There's no way to get this off the board. Let me check. I don't think there is a way to get it off the board.
I don't think so either.
Is there any way once it's animated destroy it? No.
Nope.
Is there any way to shuffle into your deck? No. Well, we'll see what happens.
It might come down to the old, decking. So we'll see if they brought in those archive traps.
Oh, they can give unblockable with manifold key. Holy.
Wow.
Oh.
We did it.
We figured it out. Well, I didn't. We didn't.
Yeah.
They did it.
We have someone by the name of Workshops in chat helping us out with this workshop mirrors. We like that. We like that. Another workshop fan. Welcome, welcome.
All right, so then they can just attack next turn with everything if they want to.
Yeah. This is just classic.
Yeah, and Ensnaring Bridge does make for very exciting games of Magic.
It really does. God, just shops mirrors, just shops in general, just really makes me think of that meme. Be like, it ain't much, but it's honest work,
Oh, there's nothing about shops being honest work.
Yeah. Well, it's honest work when you're just like attacking for 2 and stuff, when your whole deck is just making people not able to play their deck, and then you just beat them down with 2/2s.
I just know now that's going to stop. No, right.
Oh, you can just attack them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nothing can be activated. Just attack them for 6. But I'm just going to say, I am so glad that I don't have control over all the banned restricted lists.
Yeah.
Because, I'd blow so much up.
Would you?
Oh, yeah. There's just so many cards that are egregious in all the formats.
You know what I would do?
In my opinion.
You know what I would do for sure?
What?
Unban the 3 cards that are banned. Get all these anti cards in there too.
Yeah, you want to bring anti back?
Yeah, I'd bring anti back. All 29 cards that are banned. And the flip the cards, whatever they land on, destroy that card, get it back in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would be a fan favorite.
Exactly. I'll tell those Magic Online app developers, figure it out.
That is the type of energy that any corporation wants.
Exactly. Yeah. You hiring at Melee? You need any help? I think I can.
No, we're good. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay, perfect.
We're good.
So we do see this going to game 3. Checking out the deck list here. We've looked at it a lot. This is one of our players. There's that Mindbreak Traps in the sideboard that we did see brought in. That was the top player that had Mindbreak Traps, right?
And Mulligan.
So I wonder if that is just a case of something you have on the draw to try to break serve a little bit. That makes sense to me. And on the play, you just go. You know?
I love on the draw stuff. I also love when I'm listening to coverage and I don't see the people and they clap at the mic.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Just that.
It wakes people up.
Yeah. And now that I'm bringing attention to it, they think I did it. So I'm going to clarify. I did not.
Yeah.
I did not do the clap.
Sure.
I did that one.
Bradley. You are a child and I love it. Yeah. And I mean, honestly, that has been something that you've made a really good living on in your career, is those kind of on the draw, you do this, on the play, you do this. And I even remember being in a testing group, and when I'm just testing with you, you'll explain this to me, what your plan is with this deck. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's really smart. And then even when we're in a testing group with, a lot of great players, you're explaining that, oh yeah, this is going to be the plan on play and draw. And even you would get some looks, and it's even the higher echelon of players were like, yeah, that seems like a lot of card changes and stuff. So that is something that I think you were pretty unique to.
Yeah,
that aspect of sideboarding.
It always did shock
and
me.
Transformational sideboards. Yeah, you did that a lot too.
I loved it all.
Yeah,
my red white Mac deck. Everyone go look that up. That was
the Return of the Mac, right?
That was Return of the Mac. That mulligan from the top was a turn. It was so close. It was 1 man away from turn 1. God's Pharaoh statue.
This is a turn 1 Crucible, but nothing to do with it.
But it's still really tough to ignore having a Crucible in play.
Yeah, because you can also Saga on turn 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a keep. Yeah, you have a Revoker for some some interaction. You've got the relic to help out with the Crucible draw.
Okay, that's mulligan downstairs as well.
And to nothing to do with that hand.
Yeah, that hand sucks.
Yeah, that does not seem like that hand seems like it's going to get
beat. I think this is already a mold to 5. This might be going to 4. Nope, keeps it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, this is going to be a tough one to beat, right? Because you're able to get this Crucible out and start making constructs right away. And that's enough, right? That's enough to start off with.
But I mean, one good top deck and we're in. If we can get something here and go Ruby, Manifold, something. Yeah, Wasteland, not good. Cat is just like, please destroy this. I don't have a land to play.
Yeah, I'm in for whatever you want to do.
Yeah. There's Ghost Corner. Oh, Cat's just like, oh yeah, holla. Ooh.
Yeah, it's fine. You know, you got to make the play and hope to draw your own Crucible, but yeah, it's not really going to get you anywhere.
There's Black Lotus. Yeah. Not that good right now, which is weird to say.
Play that, play Relic, play Phyrexian Revoker on that Mana Vault.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say just pop it right away and try to redraw, but yeah.
No, do not get rid of it because that's going to stop. That's stopping your opponent's house of finding their Crucible and having interaction.
That's a good point. I just love drawing a card. So I get those relics out of there aggressively, usually to my own demise.
Well, yeah, that's because you're in it's part of the velocity engine here. You already have it all set up.
Yeah.
You've got Urza Saga with Crucible Worlds, and you've locked your opponent out of a bunch of mana.
Yeah, you really just want to find a wasteland here, and it's like, okay, GG.
Yeah, you don't even need it. You're up 7 permanents to 3, and one of them is revoked.
Yep. Looks like this cool cat is going to be joining us for the December tournament. And Odorous, a little unfortunate ending, being so close. 1 game away from that winning. The players are 1-1. Our director is just failing on his job there, not updating the bottom game score.
On the break, yeah.
Yeah.
Missed the break.
Unreal. Amateur hour. Okay. So we do see Mana Vault being named. We're able to make a construct from both sides.
Nope. Well, that Mana Vault is locked out currently.
Yeah, they haven't played a land yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You can play Wasteland or Mox Pearl.
Anything you can do, I can do double as better.
You want to repeat that?
Yeah. So they chose to Wasteland it so they don't get 2 instead of making 1 themselves.
Okay. Interesting. So we do see that get wasted. And with having no cards in hand, and a Crucible, so you're probably not playing a land unless one goes to your graveyard. That just has to feel terrible.
Yeah, it's just, you just lose to the Crucible. It's so powerful in the mirror.
Yeah. I'd like to play this as a Saga.
Yeah, I guess I will start my construct engine again. Yeah. Vroom.
No big deal. All right. Next up, we are going to see the finals between our cool cat up here playing Prison Shops up against Hogak. And we think that is going to be pretty favored for Hogak, right?
I think so, but I don't know. We can ask. I mean, we have someone literally named Workshops in chat. So Workshops in 7 minutes. Can you tell us who's favored in a matchup like this?
Well, don't tell us in 7 minutes. Tell us now when you hear it, but we'll see it in 7 minutes.
Oh wow, they sent the Revoker in.
Wow.
That opens up the Mana Vault.
Yeah. Okay. And did they just get rid of their own Urza Saga?
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, I don't want.
Did they get Minds Desired for that turn?
I don't know what just happened.
I think right now, Odorous is winning.
Yeah.
Wow, we were counting the chickens already, but that was a really bad play.
Yeah.
From what I can see, just play the Saga first, right? And then
just not even worry about cracking it. You can just keep making constructs every 2 out of 3 turns.
Oh, okay. We did hear there was an oof written to each player. So yeah, just Cat made a misplay there. Oh no.
That's so brutal.
I was like, I am not gonna jump to conclusions here right away because I have been calling a lot of plays wrong here so far. So I was like, maybe I'm missing something here, but that did not seem great.
No, that could really change this.
Wow.
And that the attack also opened up the mana vault.
Here's a key.
And now this means
you can fare for anything right now as
3
well.
2 5 4. Yeah, it's not enough yet, but that Inventor's Fair might be able to go get Karn to lock out all the mana, or it can go.
Doesn't it search for artifacts, right?
Yeah, it has to get an artifact. You can get a Nettle Cyst.
It can get. I mean, you can get a Gods for a statue or something, but yeah, Nettle Cyst seems really good. But oh no, there's Wasteland.
But that's too. It's not enough.
Yeah, it's like you can't even Wasteland right now. Like you can just sack this in response, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh no.
This is devastating.
Oh no.
Time Vault Key, it's over.
What?
It's over.
Oh.
And actually, with the writing was on the wall, I don't know if they would have had enough time to win. I think there was mistakes. Well, no, the Mana Vault was necessary.
The Mana Vault was locked.
Yeah, if the Phyrexian...
No, Cat would have won if you just keep the Saga and you never attack with that Phyrexian Revoker. Oh, no. Big condolences to our cool Cat there. We were already counting you into our December tournament.
Look, shit happens. I'm just going to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we both made some mistakes at those very key moments. You know, for instance, for me, my worst one, I was at Pro Tour Austin, and I was playing against Escape Shift deck, and I had Thoughtseize, and I'm at 3, and I mean, I remember every detail about this. Those moments crystallize, and I'm like, if they had Escape Shift, they just would have killed me, not realizing that they needed 7 lands. You know, it just came out. I didn't Thoughtseize. They drew land 7, killed me, and I went outside of the Pro Tour venue, and I just laid in the grass across and just looked up until someone came and checked on me and was like, are you like, okay, like not a Magic player, just like a human, or like, you've been laying here for like 5 hours, like, are you okay? And I'm just like, no.
I mean, you know, it was deep in Pro Tour Richmond. I played against Thomas Hendricks, a teammate of ours, and I thought I had the game completely wrapped up.
I watched that.
I didn't play aggressively because I thought I wrapped up, and I just didn't account for him playing Hazoret and discarding a card and killing me. And that would have been my 4th Pro Tour top 8. I'm like, at the time, the Hall of Fame's over now, but at the time, I was right on that cusp of getting there, and I needed that 4th Pro Tour to push me over the edge. And like, I probably get there with that win.
And you wouldn't have had to listen to the Hall of Fame discourse.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't have to worry about buying 5 bottles of liquor every time they were like, and it's Hall of Fame season again. I'm like, all right, lush.
Yeah, God, you know, that was it sucks that those benefits got taken away, but man, was that a toxic time of year all the time.
Oh, I'm glad it's gone. I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We are going to have the finals coming up between Shops and Hogak. We're going to take ourselves a short little break, very short, so don't go anywhere. We know if you leave. Maybe get a sandwich or something, but that's it. And then come back.
Track of all of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Brad, you're playing Candy Crush.
Don't tell them.
We're going to take ourselves a short little break, and we'll be right back with the conclusion of our July Mana Trader series here featuring Vintage. So see you in a bit. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to our final round here at the Mana Trader series featuring Vintage. My name's Corey Baumeister. That's my brother, Brad Nelson. We're bringing you coverage of the Mana Trader series every single month. That will be the last weekend of the month. We'll be doing it again next month. Qualifier seasons will be starting here in about a week and a half. Something around that. It's going to be Pioneer. So if you want to be there and you want to maybe have us commentate over your match, win a bunch of money, get into that December qualifier, you can definitely do it. Keep an eye on when the qualifier season starts. And if you want to save a little bit of money, the code with the most percentage off, no big deal, is the Bash Bros code. Will you get that other stuff out there? Okay, thank you. It's the Bash Bros code, so make sure to use ! Bash Bros and enter that code. It'll save you 15% off your first 2 months. If you want to give it a shot, I use Mana Traders, their loan program. All the time.
Oh yeah.
I love the Magic Online formats. You know, Pioneer and Modern are my thing. But after this, I might still just be playing Pioneer.
Yeah, I mean, my favorite use for it is like I'm lately for the last few years with Melee, I'm like too busy to play and grind as like I used to.
Yeah.
So like every once in a while, I'll see someone play or build a deck that really gets me itching.
Yes.
To play a league, and I can I have the cards on my account in like 5 minutes, and I'm in a league, and I play it, send them back, and I can forget Magic for another like 5 or 6 days.
Exactly. Instead of like, having to always keep track of your cards, your collection online, managing like if it's a good time to sell or something that.
It's just so convenient.
Yeah, exactly. I'm more on the Mangu side of MTG Finance. Buy high, never sell.
Yeah, I have done that many times in my career.
Exactly. All right, everyone. So, yeah, try to check out the Mana Trader series. We'd love to have you. Playing next month is going to be Pioneer. We both know a decent amount about that format, so we should be pretty ready to go. But our players are also going to be ready to go. We're going to take a look at the Hogak deck list since we've been looking at the shops list quite a bit and see what we're going to be up against. And it is pretty much under the popular opinion that this is a pretty darn good matchup for Hogak.
Yeah, I mean, you already have 4 Force of Vigors in the main deck.
Yeah.
Like, for starters, your opponent's interaction isn't as great if you get some creatures into play early.
Yeah.
And they can't really build an army too quickly. Like, you see in a mirror match, like, Urza's Saga was really good, but slow.
Yeah.
And if you just put a bunch of creatures to play real early, you can't really do anything. But then on top of it, they're like, oh, I'll get this one piece of interaction into play for you. And it's like, that's dead and this other thing's dead. Let's go.
Exactly.
Like, what are we even doing here?
Yeah, exactly. And one thing that I look at when I look at like a sideboard of honestly any format, deck lists kind of speak to you in the sense that like you look at this and you look, what would I bring in against shops? And be like, nothing.
Yeah,
you know that's a good matchup then, or it's a deck list that's completely ignoring the matchup. They're like, I can't beat it. Those are usually the two options. This one doesn't seem like that. The cards that would be brought in, they're already in the main deck.
Yeah, I believe that this is going to be a tough one for our shops player to pilot, navigate, and win through. And I am all for it. I love either a really cool comeback story, or just seeing an absolute slaughtering.
Yeah,
that's how I like to watch Magic. Like sometimes when you just see someone get beat down, it can be fun.
It is fun, absolutely. Unless it's yourself
or you watching you play. That always of course sucks. But if I'm not that invested into either player, like I just want to see some explosions. I want to see some fun.
I don't know though. Most of the time I'm the same with you, but after you beat me in the top 4 of GP Denver, I was hoping you got smashed by BBD in the finals.
Yeah, no, and of course
Magma Spray and Teamer.
Well, there's bring it back to us. I want to tell this story because it is one of my favorite stories. So to set it all up, a long time ago, Brian gave me a deck list. I top 4'd the GP with it. I made a mistake in the top 4, and I probably would have won. And then he had a bad tournament, and I told him on the cart at home, I didn't think the deck was built that well. So that kind of dug into his skin. It was probably something I shouldn't have said, right? But it became a joke. We're good friends. It became a joke, a long-standing joke. So we get to GP Denver. He was grinding. I was spending time with my family, and Corey and I didn't have a deck list. Yeah. So Brian and I were arguing about one card difference, either main, like a Chandra main or a Chandra sideboard.
Yes.
And I told him, I was like, okay, I'll just play whatever 75 you play, do better than you in the tournament until your deck sucks.
Yeah.
And I played him in the finals, beat him. And you see on the coverage that we're shaking hands, but what I'm saying to him is like, your deck sucked.
Yeah.
When all 3 of us were the only 3 playing that 75 and we all top 4.
Yeah. And honestly, it was even the same for me and you. It's like we were in the top 4, the judge looks away, and I'm just like mouthing like, like we're gonna beat you down, like it's some brotherly love.
And John Rolfe, one of our old MTGO what was it, clans?
Yeah, in the what was it? OSIP drives us to school.
OSIP drives us to school. I'm still team captain of that. I don't think they matter anymore.
I don't even think they
I went to some or did they take them away?
I don't know.
I think I'm still team captain. I don't know how to switch it to someone else.
Or you would.
I would, yeah.
All right. Do we have the players ready yet, Adrian? Or just made and joined? Okay, so it looks like we're going to be bringing you the finals here of the Mana Trader series. And now, like the big part is done. These players are qualified. So normally it'd be like, maybe this match doesn't matter that much. They're still playing for $1,000.
Yeah.
No big deal.
1,000 is a lot of dull hairs.
All right, so we got Prison Break up top, up against the Hogak.
Red King Lizards.
That is what it looked like last time. Yeah, absolutely. So, Adrian, as a deck namer, coming from someone who does deck names for MTG Melee, you just love them, right?
I'll switch to them. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. That is now Red Green Lizards and Prison Break. Absolutely.
I'm in.
Anybody who's just tuning in is like, wow, these are going to be some really sick decks. I got to check out what Gruul
Is
Lizards.
this limited?
I got to check out what Gruul Lizards is all about.
All right, a Malta 5 with a Chalice.
Okay, and you have Ghost Quarter for Bazaar Baghdad. Yeah, I can imagine Bazaar Baghdad does not stick around for very often.
Do we not have both hand cams? Okay, still working on it. Okay, that'd be good. All right, so we got a Vengevine. We probably have the Bazaar. Are we going to see 3 or 4
To be fair,
creatures?
if we don't have a hand cam for Hogak, like, who cares? You know, like
it all gets vomited.
Okay, so there's a Vengevine. Is that 2 Vengevines in the yard?
No, it's
1 Vengevine. Okay, there we go.
A Mox Jet.
Oh, no second creature.
No.
And Serum Powder, Brad. What's Serum Powder doing in that deck? It's a 3-mana artifact that adds mana. Silly.
But you know what the other.
I know what it does, but like it isn't that kind of a weird card to have? But it's just
you have to find
a deck
your
that mulligans so much. Yeah.
Yeah, and you discard all the cards. They don't matter in your hand.
Gotta love it.
All right, Soul God Lander comes down. Probably going to get that Bloodghast out of here.
Yeah, that's pretty strong.
Oh yeah, it's very
when
strong.
You pair this with a Ghost Quarter, like, I mean, I guess Taiga attack for 3 is coming.
Well, yeah, this.
Why didn't we play the Chalice on 0 on turn 1? Was there any reason?
Well, there's not a lot of value in it.
Okay.
A Chalice on 1 hits all the Root Wallas.
That makes sense. Probably a card that gets sided out though, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, take 3. All right. Well, so the storm has been weathered for our Shops player here.
All right. This Root Walla is lit, coming on in, as the kids would say.
All right. Soul Ring, given some extra mana. We might see a Chalice on 1 here.
Yeah, or do we see Ghost Quarter on the Taiga?
We still might see that, right?
Yeah.
They haven't played a land yet?
They have not played a land. Hasn't been a lot of lands in this top 4, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, thanks, Shops.
Yeah, thanks, Shops.
Deciding if they want to do this. I mean, you kind of want to hold it in case they find another Bazaar, right?
Yeah. Or if you top deck Golos. You're at 4 right now. So if you top deck Golos and you Ghost Quartered, and boom, nice call, Brad. Bazaar right off the top.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like do you just have to spin it, or
if not, why not?
If they were going to cast a Bazaar now and activate it, they probably would have done
it beforehand. Yeah.
So I'm guessing.
I guess you can just wasteland the Ghost Quarter and then Bazaar. That makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, that's actually way better. You'll lose 2 lands in the process, but you get your Bazaar.
Who cares? You only have 1 land that matters in your whole deck. You know.
No, that's a very good draw and good line.
Okay, but there is still going to be that Soul Guide Lantern that can stop any really big turns of, like, let's say, bringing back Vengevine. But if you can ever sneak a second creature into play, and you Bazaar and discard cards that don't give triggers, you can just cast Hogak before they even have a response.
That's true.
Which is a spicy little line.
And, I mean, if they just, now you have Bazaar, now you can start churning through your deck. And, Soul Guide Lantern can only stop 1 thing.
Yeah.
Or maybe 2, but at 1 moment. And then it's done.
Yeah, it's like in response to a Bloodghast trigger, are you going to go for it? You know, that kind of thing. Here we're going to see Bazaars over Baghdad.
Nope. It's a Wasteland.
Okay. Wasteland's the Ancient Tomb. Both players doing their best Shops impression.
Maybe just waiting for something to make the Bazaar better.
Yeah.
Like just waiting for a card and then that'll actually interact. Because currently it would just have to be like 2 perfects.
Yeah. Just a couple of Moxes in hand, holding on to them for now.
That'll get countered from the Chalice, but a second creature cast, like that Deathrite Shaman, will force.
It'll get countered as well. Or do you just discard like some Serum Powders? I was gonna say, and like try to just force a couple artifacts.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because, it's either do you want to force the Lantern to be activated? Because even just 1 Vengevine here is forcing it. Because that amount of pressure from Shops right now, you just can't.
So, actually, if you respond right now, you can. If they did it right now, then that Baskin Rubal would have resolved.
Yes.
With the Madness trigger on the stack.
Well, did what?
You can't force on your turn.
You're trying to do a cheat again?
I was trying to do the cheat.
Brad's Force of Vigoring and Commander games on his turn and everything.
I learned how Azusa works now last night in the game. I
Huh.
thought if you bounce an Azusa, like let's say you played all your lands, like 3 lands, and then you bounce it and recast it, you could play 2 more lands.
It's not. It checks the amount of lands you play, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Oh, okay.
So I did a video where I did, like, I was like, yeah, I'm new to Commander, and let's play on this like Commander show, and you know, this is your content, and this is what you do, and let me just ruin everything and cheat the entire time.
Oh man, let me tell you, I Restoration Angeled an angel, and the comments, the people ate me alive.
Shame.
I know, it was unreal. The audacity of me, you know. All right, now we see the Blazing Root Walla coming in for freezies. And yeah, you can't cast Hogak even if it is there. Can't cast Hogak with 2 red creatures. So now it's just the Root Walla beats. And yeah, that graveyard is pretty bad.
Yeah,
pretty bad.
It's just a Vengevine, yeah.
Yeah, 1 Vengevine that there's no pressure for this Lantern. So at what point do we get to the spot where we just sack the Soul Guide Lantern for a redraw? I don't think we're there yet, but...
No, I don't think we'll ever get there.
Okay. Waste. Oh!
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, it was a good one.
Yeah, what's the best draw now? Another Bizarre.
It's always Bizarre. It checks hand. Do you have a Bizarre Baghdad? No. What's your best draw? Bizarre Baghdad.
It could be Once Upon a Time 4 Bizarre.
Nope.
Why not?
Because I guess whatever. It's the same.
Yeah.
You're right. But... All right, we're gonna see a draw here. Blazing Root Walla. Here comes 2.
That's gonna sit in the hand for a while.
Yep. Until we top deck Once Upon a Time into Bizarre Baghdad, of course. Top deck Thorn.
Ooh, that doesn't really do anything though.
Yeah, what is that? Things cost 1 more, right? It's basically sphere resistance.
It's actually but non-creature.
Oh, yeah, so it doesn't even play it. That only hurts the Shops player. Yeah. Blood Gassy coming down. Now, if you can find a black mana source, a hasty 2/1 is great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
These are small margins right now.
Yeah, once again, we're in one of these games where so much disruption has happened that we are at the stage of the game where you get reverted from vintage to limited.
Yeah,
so that's a big one.
Yeah, this will allow for a land to come back. It's probably going to
Inventor's Fair, right?
Yeah, that's half of the damage.
Yeah, and think about this with Crucible. Oh my, you just get to keep going. But yeah, gaining the life here is the big deal.
Hauled 1, little
probably
too late
just
for
cycle that, right?
I would have cycled it pre-combat.
Yeah, because what if you top deck a Taiga and you can pump?
Yeah.
Going for a bit of a bigger turn.
Yeah, I think you were at a spot where you should have cycled and hit another Bizarre.
Yeah. Wow, is Shops doing this?
Shops is coming back, yeah.
Okay, so here we go. Nettle Cyst as a good blocker. Big old blocker. Inventor's Fair can be sacked for like a Black Lotus at any time, or really anything. Maybe another Nettle Cyst, and yeah, this is not how we expected game 1.
Yeah, the others are in the sideboard, but right now, yeah, Inventor's Fair can go get something now.
Just artifacts, right?
Yes, it has to be an artifact.
Okay.
So let's check the main deck and see if there's anything that would be a big. I mean, Trinisphere can stop a few things.
Honestly, I think the best card right now.
Time Vault.
Oh yeah, they can get just Vault and Key.
Well, you have to get. Well, it would take a few turns.
Yeah, but like over the course of a while, that's something you can do.
We're seeing an end of turn cycle. We have a Boseiju gets the Nettle Cyst out of the way.
Oh wow, and Force of Vigor helps out as well.
Well, Force, yeah, we need another green card, but yeah, the Boseiju does kill the Nettle Cyst.
Big game.
Yeah, it's a keep them alive kind of card.
Yeah, and I mean, with Nettle Cyst going away, no land to be searched up. You know, that is still, now it's still 6-turn clock, and I think just Inventor's Fair itself is faster than 6 turns to combo. So I would still say driver's seat our Shops player, but that was at least something to keep our bottom player in it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Pithing Needle.
Yeah, you can name Blazing Root Walla or just preemptively name Bizarre Baghdad.
Yeah, it's tough though. But yeah, you need to find something else to interact with. But yeah, that Force of Vigor is eventually probably going to come into play and have a huge impact on this game.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, it's a tough decision, right? Like you have 4 mana. Are you going to invest all of it into your Inventor's Fair, put something in your hand, and then recast the Inventor's Fair?
Doesn't seem good.
I like it. It puts it back into place so you gain the life of it, and it puts the card in your hand.
Yeah, I suppose just recasting. I was gonna say if you lose out on the life, that's bad.
Yeah, but you don't have to by activating it now. So what are they gonna go get? It could be a Golos. It could be.
So I mean, as it stands right now, if we top deck a Black Source here, play a Bloodghast, attack for 4, then I think we have advantage back in favor of our Hogak player. But I don't know how much Black Sources there actually are.
So that's 8. I'm trying to think of something. So if we play Golos next turn,
don't hurt yourself.
We play Golos next turn and go get Tolarian Academy, and then the following turn, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You got to remember, we don't have that many turns as well, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, like, there is the theory of going to get
Golos,
getting Tolarian Academy, and then in 2 turns, if this Pizino comes down on Bazaar, that's enough artifacts. In 2 turns, you can actually just set up with the Tolarian Academy your lock with Vault Key.
Or you could Golos for Tabernacle.
Oh, no, but there's 2 lands in play, but yeah, that could help. Another root wall. That is not the draw you want.
Oh, that is a few too many of that card. But yeah, name's bizarre. Doesn't even try to name Blazing Root Walla.
Yeah, so now Golos can come down and probably get Tolarian Academy and set up for a win next turn.
Yeah, and then, that takes away that out of Bloodghast just being able to win next turn. Now, God, the avenue is to...
What is Tabernacle?
Yep. That is a good thing to search up. Holy cow. Something that you gain value with right away. Does have the 2 Moxes, which is going to make this not completely detrimental. But now, bro, I think we are the biggest outs for a Hogak player is just draw a green card. So you can force the Golos, and then start attacking again and try to race this Inventor's Fair. That's a green card. The old Gak, Risen Necropolis. What a messed up Magic card.
Hogak?
Yeah. Remember in Modern Horizon 1 when they printed Hogak and everyone's like, wow, these Modern Horizon sets are just way too many good cards. Modern Horizons 2 is just like, all right, hold my beer. I got you.
Hey, nothing's been banned yet.
That's true. That's true.
Modern, it hasn't Legacy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, nothing has been banned yet, has it?
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, here's Golos being paid for.
Yeah.
Still plenty of lands in graveyard for Crucible to keep getting back. Sphere Resistance. Not amazing. But yeah, now what do we hit with the Force? Golos for sure.
Yeah, I think it would be Golos and Pithy Needle.
And just hope to draw it.
Yeah, I mean, well, like Pithy Needle is locking you out.
Or what do you think about Golos and Lantern? I guess.
Well, but that's not really like we have all these root walls and Bloodghast in hand. Like,
gotta cast it now. You gotta cast it now in response to Sphere of Resistance.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, it takes the Pithy Needle out.
All right, takes that down. Now we got Sphere of Resistance coming down. And with the Tabernacle, being paid for with these 2 Moxes, really the only thing they can be doing. So now, believe it or not, the top deck we want is Bazaar of
It's gotta be. It's gotta be because this game is really coming close to the end. And even then, you're gonna start losing creatures too. I didn't even think about that. You don't have the mana to pay for everything.
Win?
Because of Tabernacle, even if you found that and put a bunch of creatures into play, you only can keep 2 for legal
Yeah,
combat.
yeah, absolutely. But, they'll also be dead because you have Vengevines coming back,
Yeah, I mean that would mean that the it would take 2 different turns because we already have some graveyard hate.
Yeah, because right now, if you have Bazaar, discard 2 Root Wallas, that brings back Vengevine, but there is the Soul Guide Lantern to deal with that.
All right, so Inventor's Fair. Let's see what this is going to get.
Probably something that isn't fair. Should be called Inventor's Unfair in Vintage. Phyrexian Revoker.
Yeah, that's going to lock up. It's going to kill one of the creatures.
Yeah, that's essentially GG, right? Because you just name Mox Emerald.
Yeah, I would name Mox Emerald.
Yeah.
Shuts them out of an actual color for their deck.
Yeah, and they have a jet, so you don't want to shut your own jet off if you can help it. Okay, so Bazaar this time, and hope your opponent forgot they can use their cards. But wait, you can't even Bazaar and Madness in these Root Wallas, right? Because you can't cast them because they cost 1 and you don't have any mana.
Yeah, but they can trigger the Vengevine.
I don't think they do though, because you can't put them on the stack because you can't.
Oh yeah, you can't even pay for them. Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
There's Bazaar though.
Oh no.
Just the one turn where it's probably too late.
Yeah. Wow, what a weird... Vintage is so weird.
So weird. Okay. So do we even Bazaar?
I mean, it's tough because you got to get it into play to get like the Blood Gas trigger or something like, but it's just going to die. So you're kind of just locked out. What are you waiting for? Another Force of Vigor?
I guess. It kind of makes sense.
That is not a legal place to put your Phyrexian Revoker in the land pile. It is a creature, and that has to be out, Odorous.
Is this the whole Dryad Arbiter scam all over again?
Yeah, the Dryad Arbor deceive thing. I missed that. I missed it when it happened. I went back and looked up that story.
Yeah.
All right, so we've got Bazaar into play. But yeah, it's just going to get wasted.
Wasted.
All right, so Phyrexian Invoker gets paid for off of Mox Jet.
Yeah, this is not how I expected this match to be playing out.
Yeah, and now you can sack Inventor's Fair for another Revoker and take out the Jet, which will just lock them out of playing creatures or any. Okay, yeah, nothing.
Yeah, that's the wrong 4-drop to get excited about.
Yeah. Now this would have been a good opening hand.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Okay, here comes the Madness Blazing Root Wallas. It looks like they don't even get the chance to go on the stack. How do you resolve this then? Okay, it just goes. I was like, does the game just break?
No. You get the option to put them on the stack and you can't, so they just go away.
Okay.
Yeah, and then they might just sack
because
they don't have enough mana to do that now because of the Sphere of Resistance and because they have to start paying for this.
Yeah. Now there is a Blood Gas now in the graveyard, so maybe that's adding some element where you can, play a land. Maybe if you top deck a fetch land, you automatically get to put it into play even through a Lantern, if they do it correctly. But this doesn't really matter.
No, because it'll deal 2 and then die the next turn.
Yeah.
What are they going to do with this turn?
I don't think we've seen Hogak win a game on camera. Like, I think every time we've just, of course, the deck is doing great. There's 2 of them in the top 8. But I just think we have, like, a commentator curse with Hogak. I don't think we've seen them ever, like, really do their thing.
Well, I believe we might see one this next game.
Yeah, do you?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be a 2-0 sweep.
I don't know,
maybe it will.
Maybe.
All right, so pay for the Phyrexian Revoker, draw on Mox Emerald. What is the line here?
I don't know. I think I'm thinking the personal line I'm going to be going for is take a nap and wake me up when they go to game 2. But
Wake me up when this September series starts.
Yeah, wake me up when it's August again.
All right, so Adventures Fair is being sacrificed. What are they going to go get? I mean, I feel like if
probably just Golos again.
It might be time to have another setup turn. Yep, get another Golos, replay the fair.
That's a combination. Crucible and Inventors Fair, let me tell you. Yeah, like if there was multiple blood gas in the yard, this is truly possible to win. But by just drawing a fetch land. If fetch lands are even in their deck, that would make sense.
Yeah, I believe that there are.
Yeah. Okay.
Just a few.
And that would at least be a decent start.
All right. So
I think that is the best draw at this point. It's probably not hollow one.
Yeah, it's not another hollowed one. All right, down to 3.
Up to 4, down to 3, up to 4. You know what, Brad? While we're watching this game that is seemingly going nowhere right now, let's check out another banned anti-card.
No, we're not doing that.
Come on.
Not in the finals.
That was maybe the funnest part of yesterday. I loved it.
All right, so a ton of mana getting dumped into a Golos. Now, this, I assume, is going to go get Tolarian Academy.
Okay. School is in session.
That's a lot of blue mana.
I bet there, it gets Urza Saga. I bet there is a way to Golos with like all the Moxes and like Black Lotus, the blue land. Like, I just want to see it.
I feel like if they went and got Tolarian Academy last turn,
why would that even be good?
Because it would produce all of this artifact mana, and you can sack 2 Inventors Fair for the combo and just combo out.
That makes sense.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that would have been
sense to me.
That would have happened next turn.
All right, our Hogak player has taken mercy on us all and just said, you know what, the third Vengevine off the top, where I cannot do anything, we'll just lock it up here. And Shop's taking it down.
All right, so let's take a look at Shop sideboard. I think that's the more important one to be looking at for sideboarding.
Yeah.
Because what do we got? We've got a Cage Relic. We've got another Lantern. Archive Trap.
No, you don't search much. It's only if you do that fetch land.
But you also don't want to mill them 13.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I was thinking exile your graveyard if they search their library, but that's not what that card does, bro.
It does not. Okay. No, that's the black one.
That's right, Ravenous Drop, right? Okay, so I was in the vein, but yeah, not correct. So you just bringing in the cards that interact with the graveyard, right?
I think so. I don't think the Nettle Cysts are the way to take this because they can go way over the top of you. But also, I just don't know how good these spheres are. Some of them are good.
Probably bring in Welding Jar. Stops Force Vigor, right? Because Force is not exile; it's just destroying it.
Yep, that is definitely a card that I would want to have in my deck.
What do you take out?
Oh, I have no clue.
Cool.
No clue.
Revoker's got to stay in for Bazaar. I bet Needles stay in. Probably trimming like God Pharaoh's statue. Maybe that Thorn of Amistry that we saw drawn. That's probably coming out.
Yeah, that first game was so crazy though. Just like how close it was for how bad Hogak drew.
Yeah. It was a very strange game.
It was
a strange game, especially for just how Tabernacle was found. Those games. There's a lot of Hogak games that look really sad and miserable when you don't have Tabernacle, but when you do have them, then it's a bit stranger. All right. Looks like we're probably going to be ready for the game here whenever.
All right, cool. Players are just finishing up.
They're still sideboarding. I'm getting word from our director. But yeah, so what do you anticipate? Do you think this is going to be still in Hogak's favor, or are we definitely not?
I still think it's in Hogak's favor. I think their draw was just exceptionally poor.
Yeah.
And they still almost came back that game.
No kidding. And wow, our Shops player here just has to still be living high on the fact that they're even here in the finals. Because that top 4 Shops mirror did not. I mean, we literally already called it that we had Cat in the finals already.
Mm-hmm.
So they're already, pun intended, living on their ninth live already. But all right, still sideboarding. So deep in the tank. Must be a little bit of a tricky thing to sideboard for. Okay, so we're gonna jump in now. All right. I imagine that's no longer the graveyard.
All right, here we go. Let's see these opening hands.
Kin Prison Break. Do the, really unthinkable and, make it to another season, really.
No.
Okay,
No.
good. And I think we can get rid of that graveyard for now, Adrian. We'll have you bring it back up here if we need it a little bit later.
All right, so we've got interaction, lands, a Once Upon a Time, and a Bazaar. Is this a keep? I guess it is.
Snap it off.
But you don't have any of the creatures.
Doesn't matter. You got Bazaar, keep it. Canister plays this deck all the time. I love Canister stream. It's complete chaos over there, so I always stop in. And that's pretty much what it is. Like, if you have Bazaar of Baghdad, you keep. If you don't, you mulligan. It's that simple.
Oh, interesting. Yeah. Playing that Deathrite Shaman turn 1.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah. With
turn 1 pithing.
And nothing really too impressive on the other side. There is that Tabernacle.
Yeah, and there's a Crucible that's going to come down right away. But with the Deathrite to eat up the lands, you don't really get Wasteland locked too easily.
Here we go. I want to see it. Or are they going to Besage you?
Are they going to Wasteland the shop?
Yeah, they're going to Wasteland the shop.
Oh, yeah, and then you can just eat it right away, huh?
And then you can eat it, and
Nom, 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 nom.
And if you wanted to, you could just blow up the Crucible. Right now. Who's the prison deck now?
Yeah, who's depriving who?
Red, green, land, death. Let's go.
Yeah, change that to red, green, land destruction instead of lizards here.
Oh, that's a cage. I wonder if that would have been a good use of your Besage. Maybe. I don't know.
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Who's to say?
Well, we are close to just casting Vengevine. We have all the mana sources.
Why not? Okay, here's this. We're going to be basking in this. There's a Force of Vigor. But now you can't cast 2 spells. No Hogaaks to go with this. Yeah, I guess you're just going to force. I mean, you can go upkeep, force those 2 things. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Get it out of there. Get that land out of there. I think I'd do that.
As well. And
then probably keep Deathrite Shaman open to either, I don't know, gain life if you really want to, but mostly just eat that Saga in case a Crucible comes down, but there's no real rush to do that right now. But getting rid of Vengevine does kind of suck. It's not going to be in the graveyard to come back. It forced us exile, but yeah, are we going to see it? Bang! Get them out of there.
They're gone.
Red, green, Ponza strikes again.
Taking 2 permanents off the board 2 turns in a row.
But how good is Tabernacle right now? It's not bad.
Yeah, Tabernacle.
You can pay.
You can pay for both.
Yeah. And then you have the land to make sure you can especially pay for both.
Yeah, especially if you find something. But I feel like this is a good place to be.
Oh, definitely. For the Hogaak player, for sure.
Yeah. Draw another creature, another land.
Okay. Plays it. Are you going to activate Bazaar right away?
I think, what are the lands that... There's 1 tag and 1 bio, 1 Badlands. I feel like you should have fetched in case you drawn the last land, because there's a
Badlands in the...
Yeah, I feel like you'd want to go get that land just to play it safe.
Yeah, that would be pretty brutal.
Oh, Hogaak.
Oh, it's Gak time.
It is Gak time.
This is the first time we've seen this card actually come into play.
I know.
So far, our red-green Lizards deck was more accurate than Hogaak.
All right, so Hogaak is in play. 3 mana to activate, so we'll probably see a Basket will go bye-bye. But also, I don't think there's a way to beat it.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters.
I think this game might be a little shorter than last game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, very much so.
Okay, this makes more sense. How Hogaak's a better matchup after looking at this.
Yeah.
All right, just debating what they can do here. Ghost Quarter, do you want to hit Bazaar? Ooh, Ghost Quarters, just the land. Just going with the old Tabernacle plan. But you know what? Even if you have one land and a Hogak, that's going to be enough.
Yeah, this should be enough. This is the Deathrite Shaman's going to save itself. The Bayou is going to save Hogak, and goodbye, Root Wallows.
Lizards to the yard.
Yeah, that's what we'll see. And we'll see a crunch for 8.
8, 16. Yeah, still 3-turn clock, though, to be able to find something. Yep, now just making the choice if you want to keep Root Wall or keep Deathrite. I like keeping Deathrite.
Yeah. All right, another Hogak off the top.
Gotta love it. See if you even want a Bazaar.
No, there's not really a point.
Yeah.
You're going to have to lose all of your resources, and if you draw another Force of Vigor, you might want to keep that.
That's true.
All right, Ghost Quarter will be able to take the Bayou. So this actually does mean now that it's just the Deathrite Shaman can save itself or save the Hogak for a turn.
For a turn. Actually.
They're out of resources, yeah.
Oh my god. Now we need a Wasteland from our Hogak side. Now we're going to get to draw 2 cards, discard 3. So you do get a lot of looks at a Wasteland, or otherwise we're
saving the Hogak.
Yeah, I'd say the Hogak.
Well, but it's not lethal, I guess. Oh, Blood Gas can finish
Well,
it?
you just got to save it, and then, yeah, you can finish it off with that. But, like, if you just keep Deathrite, you only get to keep Deathrite around for a couple of turns. Force of Vigor is a pretty good draw here, though.
But yeah, I mean, we're digging for Blood Gas, but there's no more mana sources except for Wastelands. So I guess, yeah, you're digging for a Wasteland or Boseiju.
So now we're going to get to the point where if our Shops player can find a Wasteland for this Bazaar, it's basically over. There's a Caracas for Hogak anyways.
Oh, no. This is wild.
Oh, no. All right. Hogak comes down. It's gone.
All right. Do we dig again this turn? I think you do. I think you just have to.
I think so
before
too.
this Urza Saga can find a way to lock the graveyard out.
Exactly. And I think you just got to find either Wasteland for Tabernacle or I don't know.
Or double Blood Gas land. Oh, yeah. No, you only draw 2.
Okay.
But then what if it has no more targets to search for?
Well, I mean, look at this. You can... Oh, wait, you got to discard 3. I was going to say, play a land, play a hollow one here, but yeah, you're short.
Yeah.
You got to just keep Wooded Foothills.
Well, no, there's no
a land.
There isn't a land.
No.
But this is the... Oh, no, but you don't play the land because you need the land to trigger for the Floodgasts. You need to hold it.
Oh, my God. Is this going to be... Shops taking it down 2-0, winning $3,000 and the title of Vintage Champion. Wow.
I don't really see how it's not.
This is insane. Wow, there's Mishra's Workshop to be able to crank out Crucible as well. Wow.
Yeah, unbelievable.
I guess. Wait, there's Vengevines in the graveyard, right? Can we take a peek at that graveyard? None. That was the one that got exiled.
Yeah.
So, I've figured out the line, bro. You want to hear that?
What is it?
Okay. So, wait, maybe that Ancient Tomb actually messes things up a little bit. But you draw a Baskin Root Walla, okay? And then you draw 2 cards, and it is Vengevine, Root Walla, and then you discard...
Light from the Loam.
You discard all 3 of those cards, play 2 Root Wallas, and then you bring back the Vengevine. That's like the only thing I can see that can work right now.
Going down to 1.
Okay. Risky. Wow. Okay, so now we're gonna see. Now you got to pay 1 for this construct. Pays with there's a Saga. Saga is going to get probably something like their Black Lotus or just like a Lantern. I like a Lantern here. And you could go Workshop and play Crucible, I guess. Probably don't play that Mana Crypt, bro.
You don't play the Mana Crypt. You don't tap another Ancient Tomb. So yeah, you can play.
I mean, I think if you get Lantern here, it's kind of just locked up.
It feels like the kind of card that you have to go get, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But the awkward thing here with Tabernacle and this Construct token is if you want to, like, the best play this turn would be go Mishra's Workshop, Crucible, start getting that going. But then you untap and your Construct goes to the yard because Tabernacle takes a.
I think you can.
Yeah, maybe you just take a turn off, play Caracas, and then say go.
All right, let's see what they go for.
Weird game.
Yeah.
Weird match.
It is wild. I mean, you could actually, yeah, couldn't you? Did you do the line of go get Black Lotus, go get Mishra's Workshop, go get play Golos, get a Tolarian Academy that can pay for both? That's a line too.
Yeah, I said that 3 times over. No,
okay,
I didn't. Yeah, that would be pretty sweet as well. But yeah, then you can still lose to like a bunch of Hogaks and stuff. But
Soul Ring was the choice. So this is the same line, but you get to keep it inside the Black Lotus. This is a better line. Because the Soul Ring gets you Golos. Yeah, this is a much better line.
I'm still just so shocked that this Wooded Foothills is in play. You know, like
there was earlier the Badlands got discarded and not sacked, and they just must have forgot it.
I mean, it's been, so they're all 3 right there.
Yeah. So what is this going to go? Is this getting the Tolarian, or is this just maybe getting another Mishra's? Or
I think I'd get the Academy. That seems.
Well, you don't really have a lot to do with that mana.
Hey, you can play Crucible and then bring back Saga. You know, Strip Mine. That makes sense.
Okay, just locking out those plays. Yeah, I mean your Soul Ring can pay for both of your threats. You can attack with 1 now.
Yep. And or you leave it back because the only way you lose is 2 hasty threats, which is already pretty unlikely. But yeah, I like the defensive play here. I don't see a way out for this for our Hogak hero.
I can't imagine one either.
But at least both of these players have arisen to the December tournament, so we will be seeing a little bit more action from them. That tournament's going to be fun just to see like all the people that like won tournaments that will kind of just get to walk down memory lane, which of course we'll completely forget which tournament they won just because of who we are as humans. But
for sure.
Yeah, but it'll still be pretty cool.
Oh, I can't wait to see the structure, the formats, and all that. And hopefully soon by next month, hopefully.
Okay, here's the fetch. Here's going to be the oh shoot moment. Oh, Dryad Arbiter! Is that in the creatures or something?
Yeah, it's in the creatures.
Okay, then you can play Hogak. Wow, it's in our creatures in our deck list. They're really punking us.
We have the same problem, melee.
Not cool. What do you know, Dryad Arbiter hiding from another thing, huh? But now, Strip Mine the Dryad Arbiter. That looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, you can Strip Mine the Dryad Arbiter and lose all the creatures.
Oh, that's the best. That is the best strip mine I've ever seen. The absolute best strip mine I have ever seen. It kills an 8/8 Bloodcast.
Oh, it's brutal. And now this can go get the Crucible.
Hilarious. Yeah, get that Bazaar out of there too.
Yeah, get that out. Say go. Lose both creatures.
Yeah, just don't die to some weird thing. Yeah, the old no permanence. Your turn. Now, I guess you can. I was going to say they dredge Life of the Loam to try to hit stuff, but Yep.
It's in the hand.
Yeah, exactly. They can go for 8 more turns and then discard Life of the Loam and then dredge it.
Oh, interesting.
Yep.
Tell me more.
That's it. That's their only line. Oh my god. But honestly, beautifully played from our Shops player.
Oh, for sure.
Like, this game was a masterclass. Like, just go, ending at 1 life. That Ancient Tomb looked really sketchy for me right away, but it's been just a beautiful sequence to be able to win this game, and it's just looking impressive here.
Yeah, I mean, we found out by Workshop in the chat saying that this was a tough matchup and won it 2-0 on the draw.
Pretty clear that person was just wrong.
Yeah,
it's a great matchup for Shops.
Never listen to chat.
We kid, of course.
I'm not.
Okay. I was kidding about the Shops, but yeah, I totally agree. Never listen to chat. Yeah, all right. Absolutely.
All right, we gotta play.
Okay. Nope, Spirit Resistance.
Oh yeah. All right. So yeah, you don't now you can start getting feisty. You got the
now you got another saga. Yeah. So attack with one of the constructs. Next turn you win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just try not to lose to end step. The only thing you got to play around is end step, Force of Vigor into play a land.
Yep.
That's really the best they can do. So I like it. Attack with 1.
Yeah, finish the game off next turn.
Yep. And the beautiful thing is you don't even have to make a construct now. So even if they had Force of Vigor, you still have that creature waiting.
Yep. All right, 1 more turn, pass it up, make another.
And now you can just attack with everything, because if they have Force, great, you're not dead. But if they don't, game's over. I would think, right? 12, it should be GG.
Well, it depends. You can...
Well, because if you hold them back and they get forced anyways, then they're already not blocking. So you might as well just attack with them.
Well, you'll have 4 creatures, so you can play it safe and just attack with 1 and have 3 back, so you guarantee you have 1 back.
Well, you already have 1 back from There's a Saga. Oh, I guess... Yeah, never mind. I guess... Yeah, maybe that is a little risky. Maybe you do only attack with 1. Where, of course...
Well, actually, no. You attack because this turn you can also go get your graveyard interaction.
Oh, yeah. Just go get Lantern right here.
Yeah.
Lock it up. And honestly, you can just, play enough artifacts that your constructs are all 10/10s, and then as long as one of them connects, yeah, this should be it.
And you can even recast the Golos. You could have attacked and recasted it if you wanted to.
Yeah, there you go. Or just cast the one in hand, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right, and that is it. Odorous, Urungus?
Urungus,
yeah. Yeah. Congratulations to them. They are the Mana Traders Vintage Series champion. Shops taking it down, bro. How do you feel about that?
I love it. It is the deck if I was playing.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
All right.
If I was playing in a vintage tournament, I would be playing Shops just because it's the deck I want to play.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it does seem like a really sweet deck. I still really loved watching DM4X play that Doomsday list. That was probably my favorite. But all around, I learned a lot. I learned a lot watching Vintage. Had a lot of fun. I hope you all enjoyed it as well. Gotta love the Mana Traders series and how much money they're giving away. Just gave away $3,000 to our Shops players up top.
$15,000 a month.
$15,000 a month.
And all you gotta do is be a subscriber to their services and participate in their tournaments.
Exactly. And I mean,
it's super easy.
Super easy. And yeah, you win a lot more money if you're a subscriber as well. I guess technically you can own the cards and play in these tournaments. Not the best idea. Not the best idea. You can't win it. You can't win enough. That's for sure. So, hey, everyone, I want to thank you so much for watching. Next month, we will be back on that last weekend of the month on the last 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And we will be playing Pioneer this time around. It's going to be a lot of fun. Use that code !Bash Bros if you want to save yourself some money. But yeah, you got anything else, bro?
That's it. I'm excited to get into Pioneer a little bit more mid-range. We've got Phoenix, we've got Rakdos mid-range.
Yes.
Just a lot of cool decks in general.
Yeah. I didn't think there was going to be any deck that would get me off Mono Green Devotion because that's my style of deck. I love nick those, but yeah, I there's gonna be a lot of good decks, a lot of tier 1 strategies. It's gonna be a really good tournament.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope to have all of you join us next month for Pioneer, and along with get a chance to spike one of these last few remaining tournaments to qualify for the December Invitational, which both of our players in that finals are going to.
They're going to be going to, as well as the 2 people that qualified and had the best record in the qualifier league. So, we're going to be sending 4 more people to that championship event next month. So we hope that you join us. So everyone, thank you so much. For Brad Nelson, for Adrian behind the lens, I'm Corey Baumeister. We'll see you next month.